All right. So the very first news clip we're going to get into is about Chud the Builder getting first shooting a black man outside of a courthouse and then shooting himself in the arm. And then, he was basically supposed to go to court for walking out on a $400 tab. And, it was pretty wild. For those of you that don't know, we're going to catch you up with all of the details in it. We're just going to go to this first news clip, and then we're going to go through everything as far as, the restaurant throwing him out and stuff for filming inside so that he thought he didn't have to pay. And then, of course, the police came after him after that. And, so we're just going to go through it bit by bit. So let's jump into it.
Crime Alert now is a Mid-State live streamer. This man known for posting.
Coke Benny, welcome to the stream, sir. Coke, sup, camp? I won't be able to stay long. Got to wake up early in the morning tomorrow. Hey, so do I. I have to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, man. But welcome to the stream, sir.
Racially charged content is charged with attempted murder after Clarksville police say he shot a man outside the Montgomery County Courthouse. And that happened just a few days after Metro police arrested this same guy for refusing to pay his bill at a local restaurant. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar has the story.
Dalton Etherly is currently behind bars for multiple charges, including attempted murder in connection to a shooting in front of the Montgomery County Courthouse. This comes as Etherly's racist online content has gained national attention.
Now, before this whole incident happened, I do believe he had two separate tweets on X saying what he was going to do. He was basically going to kill a black man or shoot a black man or something, and then the people are going to be even more angry because he's going to be able to walk free. So, and there was one other point. Actually, you know what? I don't even know why I totally butchered that. Let's go to X real quick. So he said, series finale is a dead chimp on the pavement and you monkeys riding when I walk free. Stay tuned.
I heard the gunfire and looked up, and everyone in the cafes, everyone's heads turned.
Clarissa Greaves is still in shock a day after deputies say a shooting broke out in front of the Montgomery County Courthouse. Greaves tells me it happened shortly after 1 in the afternoon while she was working at a nearby coffee shop, seeing the aftermath unfold from the window.
Pretty scary.
This video shows a man identified as Dalton Etherly on a stretcher surrounded by crime tape. Etherly is a live streamer known for using racial slurs.
Well, from what I've seen from his videos, I don't know how that could make anyone feel safe.
Moments after the shooting, Etherly live streamed on Pump.Fun claiming self-defense.
He said, you start saying all that chimp out to me, I'm gonna hit you. He hit me, started wailing on me.
Investigators say Etherly and an unidentified man got into a confrontation and gunfire erupted. Investigators did not answer what started it, but did say both men were taken to area hospitals.
How do you not know what started it? Like, the video proof of everything, and even his own, statement is that, I said that he was chimping out, and the guy had, PTSD, because I believe the guy was a veteran, a war veteran or whatever. So he said he got PTSD from all of that, and that's why he lunged at him, whatever, basically, threw a punch or whatever. So he threw a punch, and then Dalton whipped out his gun and shot him, ended up shooting himself too. So the nickname for Chud the Builder now is Cheddar Bob from 8 Mile, shooting himself. Cheddar Bob the Builder. That's his new name right now. David came back. He says, I had to jump on Myron's stream and give him some stick for defending this guy in a breakdown he was doing. Myron seems to think this guy is some sort of hero. Oh, we have Myron on the docket, whatever. He's in the row of videos that we're going to react to tonight. And between him and Sneako, both of them are kind of defending it sort of as free speech and stuff, when it's you can say whatever you want, but that doesn't mean you're free from consequences. You can still, you can still catch hands, you can still get shot, you can still, lose all of your platform, and not get paid. And I mean, the fact that he is now in jail, I believe the judge has now mentioned that he does not, that the money that he's raised for the Give Send Go campaign, which is already over 100K. It's 100. Last time I checked it was 100K, $2,000, whatever extra or something. And they're not going to be able to use that as the 10% towards his bail. So he's kind of screwed.
But it's not Etherly's first run-in with the law. Saturday evening at the restaurant Bob's Steak and Chop House in Nashville, Etherly is accused of refusing to pay $371 for his meal. Officers later arrested Etherly on multiple charges, including theft, but he posted bond. Greaves tells me she's not surprised things escalated, given Etherly's reputation.
I think it was kind of bound to happen.
The family who claims Etherly shot their loved one could not be reached for comment.
And I also believe that the family of the guy that was shot by Chud the Builder, he has a Give Send Go campaign. I think that's at like 30,000 right now. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like that race wars thing where, you know, remember when the white lady with the child like cursed out the little black kid, called him the N-word and stuff, and she gained like over $1 million in donations. It's kind of like that. So the next story we're going to, this is the same story, but the next stream we're going to react to is Atozy. So he has a little bit more information in terms of like the charges and the amount of time that he's actually going to have to possibly do. Because right now he's in jail, but right now they're speculating it's going to be like 50 plus years that he's been sentenced to. But let's check it out.
This IRL streamer destroyed his life live just days after being released from jail. And honestly, if you know anything about this guy, it shouldn't really surprise you that things escalated to this point and this quickly. Because I would go as far to say that this might be the worst IRL streamer I've ever seen. And that bar is set pretty high because unfortunately I've covered more garbage IRL streamers than pretty much anyone else on YouTube. And
yeah, and that's the problem. I would probably go ahead and say it right now that I think Chud the Builder probably is the worst out of all of the other nuisance streamers that are out there. I mean, you still have like the, you know, annoying people and stuff like Johnny Somali, whatever, and Vitaly, you know, going around and harassing people and stuff like that. But I think what he was doing was a lot more dangerous because he was actually, you know, carrying a weapon, threatening to use it, and, you know, threatening pepper spray. And he actually pepper sprayed a couple people, and he ended up shooting somebody. So I would definitely say that Chud the Builder is now at the top in terms of like the worst nuisance streamer out there. Coke Manny came back. He says, did you see Sneako debating with Akademiks about it, saying black people shouldn't get offended over a word and then gets offended over what Ak says, FLI? I did hear that, actually. That's actually the video that we're going to be looking at, too. I believe that's the second to the last video before Myron's video. So, yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that one, too.
Thing is, like, I've actually been trying to cover this guy for days now. But every time I think I have, like, a whole story together, he says or does something even...
Yeah, see, the thing about covering Chud the Builder is that you cover something, like, I thought we were going to talk about him again after the stream we did 2 weeks ago. I thought we were pretty much said everything we needed to say about him. And then this whole thing with the restaurant happened. And then as soon as I was going to start talking about that, then he shot this guy, you know, outside the courthouse and stuff. And then and now, you know, his sentencing went pretty quickly, which was, you know, that was good, but, you know, it just seems like he keeps having more and more stuff happen to him, you know, that he keeps staying relevant, you know, through controversy. David came back. He says, this guy is asking for trouble with his streaming tactics. He literally race baits with extreme name calling, and eventually someone is going to do something. I mean, the thing is, so people that don't care about the whole online image and thing like that, all they have to do is just, you know, put on a shiesty. I think I said this like 2 weeks ago. They all do is put on a shiesty and just sucker punch them, or, you know, get them with like a blunt weapon or something like that, blindside them, and that's it, you know? So yeah, he is definitely playing with fire. And, you know, I think you take away everything that this man has, you know, in terms of his livelihood, in terms of his, you know, child and stuff like that. You know, he has really nothing left to be here for. He has no purpose, you know? So I think the fact that he's going to be arrested now, at least that's going to give him shelter. That's going to give him 3 square meals a day. You know, he's going to be able to have interaction with people and stuff like that. Whereas, you know, before he was probably just really, really lonely, you know, and just trying to figure things out and how he can bring money in, and you know, going outside and just rage baiting a bunch of random people on the street. You know, people for some reason like gravitate towards that.
Crazier that I can't just not include. But regardless, it's safe to say he might have just outdone himself this time, because apparently not only did he pull a firearm on someone during a live stream, but no, he actually pulled the trigger, more than once.
I walked up to him because they were pointing at me. They were laughing. They were pointing at me, and I said, "What's up, guys? How y'all doing?" I said, "Y'all like the new suit?" He said, "Walk away from me." I walked away from him. He came back up to me. He literally said, "I have PTSD. I feel like I'm in." He said,
So he skipped over the part that he told him after he told him to walk away from him. He's like, "Oh, look at him, he's chipping out. He's chipping out." And then by him saying that, that's what caused him to say, "Hey, I have PTSD," whatever. So he completely left that part out. Take his souls for free. Welcome to the stream, sir. Good to see you, man. Yo, what's up, camp? I'm kind of glad this guy got dude, it was just a matter of time, man. It was just a matter of time, honestly. He was going to run across the wrong YN, or just, I don't know, man. Just he's just going to basically approach the wrong tough guy, you know, that's going to be able to disarm him and, you know, take him out. But I'm glad that it happened like this, because at least, because I don't think the guy got killed. The guy that he shot, he didn't get killed. Luckily, you know, he just was in critical condition and stuff like that. I don't know. From what I've seen, I don't think the guy's dead. So I might be wrong about that, though, because I haven't fully followed up with it. But from what I've seen so far, I don't think the guy that he shot is dead. David came back. He says he's now locked up with black men, and I bet he ain't running his mouth down. Well, so here's the thing, man. A video came out from a woman in his past, actually, a black woman, a black lesbian, who used to peg him back in the day. You know, they were actually in like a little whatever relationship where, yeah, she used to peg him. She says that, you know, she doesn't have sex with men. She just pegs them or whatever. And yeah, like, she's like, yeah, I don't understand why Dalton is playing this character, whatever, like that. You know, we had a whole ass relationship back in the day. And it's kind of weird, kind of a weird insight to have that, yeah, he was like completely, I mean, you know, I think even in the video that I saw of him interacting with that woman, just completely nice, you know, completely like, you know, well, you know, it was good to see you and all that stuff. So like, I think it's all an act. It's definitely an all an act, you know, for the camera and stuff. And he's completely audience captured for like the type of audience that he's cultivated with this content. So he has to keep like ramping things up and keep, you know, doing the same thing, because that's how people are, you know, gravitating towards him. But yeah, kind of a weird insight to find out that, yeah, this guy, he used to get pegged back in the day by a lesbian black woman, and yeah, now he's going to be in jail, and he's probably, I don't know, man, he might have just dropped that completely, you know, and might not have a problem getting pegged by all the black dudes. I don't know.
Start saying all that out to me, I'm gonna hit you. He hit me. Started wailing on me.
But I'm sure he's probably made a name for himself. People know who he is. People in jail and stuff have like intel like that, or maybe he's dumb enough to let everybody know who he is. You know, I mean, that would be really stupid on his part. But I'm pretty sure people know who he is. I mean, if he doesn't go straight towards the white people to like kind of have his back, he's probably going to be pretty much screwed anyway.
Even after I had to defend myself by shooting him, he's still wailing on me.
So I can only assume this absolute tragedy will stop him from making any more insane headlines for at least a day or two so we can get a video out on this. But honestly, you never really know. Regardless, though, if you're lucky enough to not know who Chud the Builder is, real name Dalton Levi Etherly, good for you. But unfortunately, I guess I'll change that now, because this guy is probably the most controversial and polarizing streamers online right now. And again, as I said previously, that bar is set pretty high because we've covered the worst, you know? So when I rank him worse than Johnny Smiley or even Vitaly, you know things are bad. And like many others we've covered here on this channel, he's been permanently banned on Kick, if that tells you anything about his character and content style. And since then, he's moved on to even more degenerate corners of the internet to live stream. And
yeah, I actually had to look up the audio clip of what he was talking when I guess Chud the Builder was talking to the reporter about what happened after the shooting. I had to go on pump.fun, and I had no idea, like it was like a little crypto site, but also it has creators on there that are live streaming, and I guess they're earning crypto through their live streams. This is very, very strange website.
Fortunately, he feels like this like inevitable product of a cursed prank content creator and an IRL nuisance streamer that we often cover here on this channel, because the dude is reportedly 28, probably had nothing going for him.
Dude, 28? Chud the Builder looks like he's at least 40, man. Like, I don't know if it's like the drugs, the alcohol, whatever, but 28, I would have never guessed that he was in his 20s at all. Not even his 30s. He looks old, man.
And thought, hey, why don't I just go viral by any means necessary? The dude wants attention. He's going to do anything to get it, which I guess includes allegedly baiting a fight to potentially take someone's life and claim self-defense. It doesn't get too much worse than that.
You following me to my truck now? We got 18 rounds for you. We ain't got nothing else. Don't follow me to my truck. I bet you won't follow me to my truck. Come on. Look at him.
This is why a digital footprint is so important, man. And like, if you ever want to have any type of future or any type of life after your online career, you got to watch what you put out there, man. Because, yeah, I mean, this guy will never have a normal life after this, you know, after he does his time and stuff. It's just going to be really tough. And, you know, this stuff is online forever. So, yeah, he's going to have to do a lot. He's going to have a lot of money to basically scrub the internet out of all this stuff.
Look at these now. 931 Seville. They ain't. Look at these. Hey, thanks for the new truck you bought me.
Yeah, this is pathetic. This is just straight up harassing strangers, minding their own business for his own stream content. And I mean, here on this channel, since we first started covering pranksters and IRL streamers, we've been advocating for a very simple right, that if you go out in public, you will not be harassed and antagonized by some IRL streamer or prankster for their monetary gain. We don't want to be content for someone without giving consent. Because it's safe to say, this kind of creator pushes the filming in public laws pretty far. Because there's a massive difference with someone harassing someone repeatedly on camera for their own monetary gain and someone filming a video in public and, you know, you pass by in the background. There's a big difference there. So I mean,
it just really makes me wonder, like, what is Chud the Builder's audience? You know, is it mainly consist of like 13 and 14-year-olds that somehow have access to their parents' credit card? You know, like, how? You know, like, who is like seriously watching Chud the Builder streams and like being entertained by it? You know, like, I don't know. All I see are the highlights. I've never seen like a full stream. I can only like imagine, you know, just, I don't know, man. Like, I would think that stuff would get tired really quick, you know, and actually kind of sad.
If there's anything this channel is against, is people who harass strangers minding their own business in public for profit. But unfortunately, in 2026, I guess that's just too much to ask for, because awful platforms allow these people to thrive. Because, as I stated earlier, if you've seen any of the clips of him going viral online, it doesn't really feel like a shocker that he ended up shooting someone, and apparently himself, during a fight on a stream. And yes, you heard that right. Apparently this absolute genius grazed himself too, according to reports and audio that is said to be from his own stream immediately after the shots were fired.
I'm wondering if he shot himself first before he shot the other guy, like just trying to, you know, get it out of the holster and stuff. Because apparently he was shot in the arm. So I don't know. I don't know how he drew, if he like cross drew or something and pulled the trigger by accident. But, yeah, I mean, definitely need some more practice with the gun rather than just, you know, flashing at people, you know. This is pump.fun. This was the clip that I was going to put on. But, yeah, it just had so much crazy, like, stuff on that website in terms of, like, I guess, like, crypto exchange and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I don't really want to stay on this website too long. I don't know if there's like any viruses or whatever. So, but yeah, this was actually the audio clip I was talking about earlier.
Did I shoot myself, or did it graze it?
It penetrated, yeah.
But we'll get into that. I just want you guys to understand how disgusting this guy truly is. Because Chud the Builder is essentially a stage name for this strange fake cowboy character that he LARPs as online. Of course, it's probably way easier to go viral if you just act stupid and insane, so that's clearly what he does. And this is in addition to being just shockingly hateful, because at the core of his content is just aggressive racism and hatred used for shock value.
No more now. Get out of the road.
And then he pairs.
Dude, I wish he would come to like Atlanta or like, I don't know, like any like major city, you know, and just try that and just see how quickly he'll get shut down.
Is that with the apparent desire to pull various weapons on people who react to him and then claim self-defense?
Here, back the f up.
So essentially, the way he gets content is he's just racist and hateful to strangers on the street, and then when they react, he threatens to pepper spray them or pull out his firearm. So clearly, we're dealing with a great person here. Because if the mountains of footage of him yelling racial slurs at random people on the street wasn't enough to convince you of how terrible he is, then maybe the clips of him actually macing people who are merely verbally confronting him, that'll probably help.
He got Fendi glasses on. You ain't got. You got lens crafters on. Yes. This dude. That's why he's making money and you ain't. And he got the V-Lone on. What you wearing? Your work shirt? What does that say? You're a Atlum.
You ain't never gonna be nothing but a.
You guys do is talk.
You can't look me in the eyes because you might be the.
You on some or something? What are you on?
I already told you I'm on your mama's suite.
Okay. You're, bro. Literally, all you do is talk about your.
Ah, I'm sorry.
Come back over here.
Okay. Let's not.
Come back over here.
Let's not fight. I am.
Touch me again. Touch me again.
I don't want to get pepper sprayed. I really don't.
Go pick up my hat. You heard me.
Fuck your shit.
There it is.
Touch me again. Touch me again.
He just sprayed that whole patio just now. Dude, did you guys see that? Like the people that were just sitting there, they got sprayed too. Look at this.
Touch me again.
Yeah.
Touch me again. That's what I thought. Thank you.
Hey, don't hit me with that.
I ain't gonna pray you. That wants to put his hands on me again. Go home with you. Let's go get his ass.
Yeah, those girls that were sitting there, just sitting there eating, man, they got pepper sprayed too.
Hail Hitler. Thanks for picking up my hat.
Yeah, great job. You also just maced everyone on the patio as well. So that's self-defense? Like, what? I feel like for every few months now, a new streamer appears out of nowhere and is just even worse than the last one. And I feel like
I feel like that too. Like they all have to one-up each other. Like one person is grabbing a raw fish and slinging it at people on the train. Other people are like throwing like poop water, ice water, whatever, all over people and stuff. And other people are, you know, stealing policemen's hats, whatever, stealing motorcycles and stuff. It's like, what's the next thing to do? It's like, well, you try to get people to fight you on the street and then brandish your weapon and your mace and stuff. And, you know, if you have to spray them, you know, the chat's going to love it, man. It's crazy how, you know, we're moving further and further to just shoot somebody already, you know, just shoot, don't unprovoked, you know, completely just run up and just rob somebody.
Sitting here like, how are we still stuck in this downward spiral? People will truly do anything for just a little bit of attention online, even if it absolutely destroys their life. But in the last week, he's been gaining so much traction with his antics that it kind of felt like someone being hurt was inevitable. Whether it was by, you know, Chud and his self-defense strategies here, or someone, you know, running up on him, which happened. But I just don't think people expected him to hit, I guess, 2 birds with 1 stone and shoot himself as well as someone else. Because what's so crazy about all of this is people started putting bounties on his head and warning him to not come to their cities.
I think that people should be able to say whatever they...
like the Johnny Somali bounty that they had in South Korea, man. Everybody was just hunting him down and there was money to be made and stuff if you were to find him and kick his ass and stuff while he's on stream. That's kind of funny though. That's kind of happening here now. Tito's Ghost came back. He says the world is becoming more like a bad South Park joke. Dude, it's becoming like a Black Mirror episode, man. It's like it's going to get harder and harder to, you know, find jobs and make money and stuff. So people are going to turn to this internet and just try to see if they can make money online. And if it means, you know, pulling teeth or, you know, burning something of value, whatever, or burning themselves, whatever, harming themselves and stuff for the entertainment of others, I'm sure, you know, there's going to be somebody that's going to want to watch it.
Look, without threat of violence.
You've already got a bounty on your head right now, dude.
Oh, do I?
With the bullshit.
Do I? Talk about the bounty.
Because the dude was being stream sniped and harassed. He was getting cornered at gas stations and having his cowboy hat stolen off his head by another streamer who's also equally a degenerate, pretty much. And that feud in itself is just kind of like a battle of who will do anything for views, because both of these guys apparently will do that. I don't even know if I want to open the can of worms of the dude who stole his cowboy hat here on this channel right now. Maybe that's for a future video. But even though he says it became tough for him to stream IRL content due to people pressing him, I don't really know what he expected here. Like, his whole bit is baiting people into being mad at him. So why is he surprised when people get mad at him? Like, bro, that was your whole bit.
People treat me like I'm some shock streamer, like I'm that Trey kid that stole my hat. And you know, I was like totally about to just be like cool with him and be like, ah, you got me. All right. You want a hat? I'll go get you one that actually fits your baby ass head, bro. Let's go get one together on stream. It could be cool. And we could talk about whatever differences we have and whatever opinions that he thinks he disagrees with me on. And then he starts threatening to shoot me. He says, you touch your gun, I'll kill you. Now, why did it go to that? Sorry, whatever I did pissed off your black boyfriend. I didn't think it was that serious.
Like, you're supposed to be making fun of people for overreacting, but you want to...
Okay, this is the tweet I was talking about. Till he slapped my phone and ran away like a bitch. That's when I called the law to report his black ass. Hold on,
Have someone arrested for breaking your phone screen? Also, freedom of speech just means you can't be arrested for the things you say, which he's not being. He's being arrested for his incredibly stupid actions. But regardless, while he claimed that he was considering pressing charges against the guy who stole his hat and the dude who smashed his phone, that stuff got put onto the back burner only like a day or two later when he was arrested in Nashville for allegedly not paying a bill at a restaurant, acting disorderly, and resisting arrest. And naturally, the whole incident was live streamed to Chud's viewers. Ah yes, another video of him yelling slurs and acting like a complete moron because the restaurant didn't want him streaming inside of the restaurant. Are we really acting this pathetic? I guess so.
I mean, it's common sense, dude. Restaurants are private property unless you get permission from them to film inside. You know, you can't do that, you know, especially there's other people in there that don't want to be on camera. You know, it's like you gotta have to respect that. But you know, Chud the Builder kind of marching to the beat of his own drum. He's not gonna care about rules like that. And he had already got his food. And they were like, well, you know, you got to pay for this and stuff. So they had the guy on camera telling him like, hey, you still need to pay your bill. And he's like, oh, I'm not paying if you're kicking me out. So it was a weird rationale that he had. Teen Toast Ghost came back. He said he's lying about the hat. I mean, I'm sure he is, dude. I mean, I could not picture him trying to settle someone's differences or whatever and going to buy another hat for another guy, a complete stranger and stuff, and trying to figure things out. No, he's just going to say, oh, he's chipping out and get the content and move on. I mean, we all knew that.
But for a guy who loves yapping about people's rights and freedom, he sure does hate private businesses who are exercising their rights. Like, dude, this doesn't make sense. But regardless, he was released on Mother's Day and proceeded to moan on Twitter and on.
I was wrongly arrested after a restaurant had Chud the Builder written down at the host stand before I ever walked through the door, conspired to have me charged. Then I was held until noon on Mother's Day, had to cancel breakfast plans with my family. I was interviewed by the feds and bank account frozen, all electronic devices seized, as well as my firearm. The police cleared my multi-factor authentication keys after they took all my items. So my multi-factor authentication keys after they took all my items. Why did he copy that? Now I can't sign in any of my iCloud or any other account.
His stream about how unfair all of this was.
I could not care less about some hat. I am simply weary after 6 months of being attacked by our government for expressing the constitutional freedoms our ancestors fought and died for. Wake up, America. No,
he could potentially.
It's not illegal for white people to say the same word they say to each other.
Sue everyone else involved.
I can't even, like, my whole family doesn't.
I just think it's funny how, like, just because you can say it doesn't mean that you should say it. And I get that you want to have the freedom to say whatever you want, but you got to understand that you're going to cause problems for yourself. You know, it's like, you just have to understand that's just the way of the world. You know, you got to kind of comport yourself in a certain way when you're out in public. And, you know, it's, if you want to act like a crazy person, man, if you want to play stupid games, you're going to get stupid prizes. So. Is he crying? The hell? Oh yeah, he's crying.
It's just so pathetic. Like, imagine your obsession is wanting to scream racial slurs at random people you don't even know on the street while live streaming it for everyone to see online. Like, dude, are you trying to make yourself permanently unemployable? But regardless, in the strangest foreshadowing of what was to come, Chud also talked about how the cops sat him down and essentially told him what would happen if he kept acting up. They told him violence and someone getting hurt or worse.
So I'm talking to the Fed, and it basically got to the point where they were like conceding
in a way. Like, listen, like basically saying, like, we got nothing on you. And after talking to you, we actually see, like, as humans, want to just give you this piece of advice. They're like, you know where this is going. This only escalates. And I do know this.
And he literally admits to knowing that too in the clip, but was just saying he has faith in God that no one will get hurt.
I'm just
no, that's a man that has nothing to lose. That's why he's acting that way, because he knows that he there's really nothing you can take from him, you know, anymore, because he's already lost so much that, yeah, he's basically just a man living on borrowed time now, and he's going to do whatever he can. You know, it doesn't matter if he gets arrested or not. He doesn't care if he's alive. You know, this is a man that has a kind of a death wish.
Have profound faith in the Lord that things might not go the worst way possible.
Dude, what? There is nothing honorable nor godly about what he is currently doing. But then, to make things even worse, you now have tweets that were recently tweeted where he's outlining his plan to. So
this is the first one, series finale, a dead, I think it was like dead monkey on the pavement, and dead chimp on the pavement, and you monkeys will be riding when I walk free. Stay tuned.
To eventually bait someone out to the point where I guess you can just fire at them and take their life, and it would be justified because it would be self-defense. Yeah, that's going to be used in a court of law against him.
Especially with the video evidence, whatever, everything leading up to the interaction. You know, it's like, good thing that you gift wrapped all that for the defense as well.
Apparently that tweet was from a week ago. And just like he predicted, Chud is now making headlines for reportedly firing multiple shots into a man outside of a Tennessee courthouse. So according to this news article, he'd been scheduled to appear in court in Clarksville on Wednesday morning over a $3,300 debt allegedly owed to a credit company, according to Montgomery County court records. That civil case was filed in February on the behalf of Midland Credit Management. But the reason he was there is kind of irrelevant, because what is relevant to the story is what happened outside. Because I guess outside...
How are you going to shoot somebody outside the courthouse of your court date? Like, this is... I don't know. You think you'd be on your best behavior, man. But not Chud, man. Not Chud.
An altercation started with a random man, and according to him, the guy punched him, and he ended up using his firearm as self-defense, but also managing to hit himself with his own firearm. So apparently, during a scuffle, he also grazed himself. And both men were transported to a hospital, and both are reported to be stable. So
okay, so there's their answer. The guy that he shot did not die.
Luckily, it sounds like the victim will survive. Not much info can really be released about him due to medical privacy laws, but now it just seems like it's a little bit of a waiting game until we hear from either the authorities or Chud himself or the victim. But Chud also has other court dates, so he's currently stacking court dates, just like Clavicular. So it'll be interesting to see how all of this goes, because it's safe to say that tweet of his and his past behavior is not going to help him whatsoever. But honestly, at the end of the day, anything can really happen in a courtroom. But I would absolutely not be surprised if we see charges filed against him for this incident. It's now the next day, and yes, he's now been charged with attempted murder, employing a firearm during a dangerous felony, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon, according to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. He also has been booked into the Montgomery County Jail. And right now, there's still a lot of stuff up in the air. But here's some...
And I'm wondering, you know, the whole filming, the whole situation too, if that is another charge, whatever, like trying to distribute that for money and stuff, if that could be something completely separate. But I don't know. I think it's just like there's so many more serious charges that happened that if they just focus on just that, that's already like 50 plus years in terms of like sentencing. So Tito's Ghost came back and says Chud is a worse shot than Elmer Fudd. Yeah. Well, Elmer Fudd had a shotgun. I would not want to see him with a shotgun. He probably would have taken off his whole arm if he had that.
Footage from the scene at the courthouse.
Deputies say Dalton Etherly, better known on social media as Chud the Builder, was involved in a fight leading to gunfire. Both men were hospitalized. Deputies just arrested Etherly, charging him with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon. Tonight, he's being held in the Montgomery County Jail.
So, in Tennessee, he's currently facing 60 years in prison for all of those charges combined. And there's also been a whole bunch of details that came out. Because according to...
So he's going to die. He's going to die in prison if it's like 60 years. I mean, if he's already 28, yeah, he's not going to live that long. According to a Facebook post by someone close to the family, Chud the Builder's victim has been identified as Joshua Love. Joshua was married with 2 kids. According to the source, Love was shot in the shoulder and stomach and currently in surgery. A GoFundMe has been posted.
A Facebook post by someone close to the family, Chud the Builder's victim has been identified as Joshua Love. Josh is apparently married with 2 kids, and according to a source, Love was shot in the shoulder and stomach and currently is in surgery. And another important detail is apparently the guy is a veteran. Both of them have GoFundMes and GiveSend.
Hence the PTSD that he was talking about in the audio.
Chud has raised about $100,000, and the guy who was shot has raised about $30,000 currently. And what's not helping either of them is both of them have very extensive criminal records. So when it comes to this case, it's going to be really interesting because a lot of people are claiming that the guy who was shot doxed him multiple times and was actively trying to find Chud. But again, Chud made all those statements online essentially saying that this was going to happen. And we've seen footage of what happened in the aftermath, but
yeah, it was practically an announcement that he made to his chat, like, "Hey, stay tuned. You know, this is really going to happen. That's, you know, I'm basically you're gonna see me in the news. It's going to be headlines and everything." And then it happened. So I'm pretty sure he was at that point where he's just like, "Dude, there's really nowhere to go but up from here."
Don't have any footage of what exactly went down. So it's safe to say, I mean, this will probably be one of the biggest cases of the year, and it was all for nothing. The dude threw away his life because it seems like he wanted to harass and pepper spray strangers on the street for his live stream content. The guy is no different.
Not a sustainable strategy, you know? It's like you got to up the ante every time. That stuff's going to get old real quick, you know?
Different than Johnny Smalley. Or, well, he's worse because he clearly has a willful disregard of human life, all in the name of just farming some social media content. This is, without a doubt, the bottom of the barrel when it comes to streaming. But now, he's made his bed, so I guess he just kind of has to sleep in it.
Since I recorded the last bit, Chud has had his arraignment, and now he got a $1.25 million bond, meaning he at least has to come up with, what, 10 to 15% of that if he's even going to get out? So over $125,000 just to have some.
This right here, the district attorney is reporting plan to block Chud the Builder from using his fundraiser money, which was like over $100K, towards his bond.
Freedom.
You know, my favorite line from the is, "You got freedom of speech. You just don't have the freedom of consequences from your speech."
I'm on set initial bond at $1.25 million.
See, as you can see, the more you f around, the more you're going to find out.
I don't know if he's going to get bailed out before his court case. So, again, this is so unnecessary. Why did you make your life this difficult for yourself? Here's a quick news clip from the arraignment.
During Friday's hearing, the judge pointed to seriousness of these charges and public safety concerns, as well as Etherly's existing bond status in other cases, while setting that temporary bond amount.
This was just all so preventable. Why would you do that to other people and to yourself just for the sake of some content online? Clearly, it's not worth it.
So overall, this is just one massive.
This is the kind of the result of being audience captured, and I'm pretty sure he was fueled by whoever was in his chat watching him and trying to amp him up to do more and more. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure you cultivate that type of audience, whatever, they're going to want more and more out of you.
It's a tragedy that shouldn't have happened, but we'll definitely be covering the story moving forward. So subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yeah, shout out to Atozy, man, for covering that, because I did not know about the whole restaurant thing until I came across this video, and then I was like, oh crap. So he had that offense with like walking out because he had filmed inside the restaurant, and then he was also at the courthouse for owing a credit card company like over $3,000 and stuff, you know, and then he just decided he wanted to go ahead and pull the little shooting act like that day, that same day. So it's just like, I don't know, man. I guess this guy's just speed running his whole online career, man. I mean, faster than Clavicular, because now Clavicular is getting called into court for his shooting an alligator, you know? I caught a little bit about that, but yeah, so I saw that on, what's it called? I think that was on Reddit, I believe. But yeah, let's go to Reddit real quick, because I have, I had it actually queued up, but let's check it up real quick. Stuff that I had. So this is a self-defense attorney. He was reacting to Chud the Builder's bond being set at $1.25 million, and he's talking to Myron here, and he's gonna go ahead and let him know that the 10% is not going to be enough. They're going to want more in terms of like his assets and stuff. And I don't think Chud the Builder is like rich by any means. You know, I don't really think he has any like crazy assets and stuff. But let's check it out.
So he got a $1.25 million bail. I know he has a GoFundMe. I think he has enough to probably post the bail because I think he's got to post 10% or whatever.
I doubt it.
Well, sorry.
No, it's going to be it'll be more than so a normal bail. You're right, it's 10%. But when the exposure for the bail bondsman is this high, they want 10% as their fee. Yeah, and then they want collateral for the rest.
Gotcha.
So
put up a house.
They
or something.
won't take your house, but they'll ask you to put up your house. Right?
Gotcha. So okay, so we
By
went.
the way, this is not an insane. I mean, it's a very high bond. I've seen it before in murder cases, attempted murder cases. I know one of the gripe that's in the community is that they see black suspects commit worse crimes, not attempted murder, but literally murder, literally assassination, and get like a $200,000 bail. That's one of the legitimate grievances I talked about at the start of our show today. This is a real concern. This should not be happening. But it does happen. I mean, George Zimmerman had a multi-million-dollar bond. Kyle Rittenhouse had a multi-million-dollar bond. And is it because they're white guys? Yeah, maybe because it's a politically charged event. In Zimmerman's case, a racially charged event. Yeah, I mean, is that right?
Like higher economical status, whatever. If I remember correctly, wasn't George Zimmerman like a policeman or some shit? You know, so like, pretty sure he wasn't like just live streaming content, whatever, walking around the hood and shooting Trayvon Martin. No, I think it was he actually had a little career going, you know, and yeah, I mean, it just, if you were, yeah, I mean, you got a guy like a black guy that's in the neighborhood that shoots another gang member, whatever, like that. They don't, $200K is like $1 million to them, you know. So it just, I think you set the bond for the economic status.
No, it's not right, but they're allowed to do this. I mean, frankly, I would expect, I think, maybe. So this is a two-stage process right now for Chud. So right now what he's got is bond. There's bond and there's bail. So bail is often a kind of technical process where like reports are filed. Like, is this guy a flight risk? Does he have bonds to the community?
Jay Prosper, welcome to the stream. He was a watchman for the neighborhood. Or are you think Chud the Builder was a watchman for the neighborhood?
There's an examination of facts that goes into bail. But before you get to bail, because bail takes an arraignment, which is normally a few days later, post-arrest. Bond is something you might get right away. So it's possible they gave him a $1.25 million bond, and then when they get to bail and they have more facts in the record, they'll reduce the bail. I don't think Chud's getting out on a $1.25 million. I don't think he has the resources.
Oh, George Zimmerman. Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying that, because I remember we just talked about George Zimmerman. I thought we were talking about Chud the Builder. Watchman for the neighborhood. So, but did he have any type of law enforcement background? I could have sworn he did. Maybe I'm confusing that for something else, whatever. But yeah, okay. All right. I just remember like the details of the story. Like the Trayvon Martin was basically just walking down the street and he had like his hoodie on or something. I don't remember exactly how the whole interaction went down, but from what I remember, George Zimmerman felt like he was like in danger or something from this little kid. And I don't know if he claimed self-defense, whatever, but yeah, kind of messed up.
To do it.
His GoFundMe has like 130, 140K in there. He has a GoFundMe.
It's not enough. I mean, that's enough for the 10% for the bail bondsman, but it's not enough.
How much do you think he's going to need?
Is not
like total
half the remainder.
Okay,
so $500,000 in collateral. He doesn't have to lose it.
Yeah.
So again, when you pay a bail bondsman, you put up the 10%. The bail bondsman keeps that 10%. You never get it back. That's his fee.
Yep.
If he had $1.25 million himself, he could put it all up, cover his own bond, and then as long as he shows up to court.
The Wolf, he said he followed Trayvon Martin. Yes, I remember. He did. Yeah, because I guess he felt like he was some type of threat. You know. Was on the phone with 911. Oh, okay, got you. Exo Charles, welcome to stream, sir. Hey, hustlers, where to see you guys streaming on a Sunday night? Yeah, you know what? This is a Sunday redemption stream for Saturday night, man, because of the internet was being so shoddy. But we're back to 100% now, so that we got it fixed. I was like, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing done. But yeah, man, welcome to stream, sir. Tito's Ghost came back. He says, no bail conditions were determined by your finances and the severity of the crime. Plus, it's very public situation. Judges have a fair amount of leeway to determine the amount. No, it's true. I mean, he is kind of a high-profile case, even though he is kind of like the lowest common denominator in terms of human being. But he definitely has made a name for himself over this past year, and he's garnered quite the following. And a lot of those people that are donating to him on his Give, Send, Go campaign, they're all anonymous. You know, it's like they have to be.
He ends up getting it back.
Yeah,
100%. So what I expect would happen here is he'd have to put up 10%, 125 grand that he loses to the bail bondsman, and then the bailsman is going to say, "But I want collateral for half the million that's left over."
Yeah, gotcha.
So do you have a $500,000 house, or do you have a house with $500,000 in equity? I mean,
he's got a truck, he's got a gun, he can probably give up. But yeah, I don't think that $500,000 is going to be anywhere in the cards.
Do you have a $500,000 in resources that can be collateral that I can seize if you run?
Gotcha. Okay.
And not many people have that.
Yeah.
So
no,
I don't know if Chud does or not, but I would be surprised.
Yeah. So that's the current situation in terms of his bail. Like, some people were, reacting to this, hearing video and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, he's got enough money to cover it because of his Give, Send, Go campaign," and that's not the case. But I thought about it too. I thought maybe that might be something worth talking about. So let's see. Let's go to the next. So this is actually Omizi's video. I just recently he recently put this one out. I wanted to check it out. The title of this video is Chud Found Out the Price for Chimping Out. Let's check it out.
I'm being persecuted for a law that does not exist. They're throwing bullshit charges at me to try to discourage me, to try to make me silence myself.
Etherly is now charged with attempted criminal homicide, employing a firearm during a dangerous felony, aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury, and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon.
It's not illegal to say, look at this guy harassing my community behind me. Look at this guy causing an issue in my community. He's chimping out. Call him a hard R and say, get the f away from me.
I'm on set initial bond at one.
He had me up until like the last two sentences, man. Let's listen to what he said, because everything he said was reasonable, but that wasn't what he actually does. Let's listen to what he says.
In my community.
Look at this guy causing an issue in my community. If he said something like that, that would be pretty funny. But he does not say any of that. He just says, look at this guy chimping out. Oh, he's chimping out, or then he calls him the N-word. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Prosper's back. He says, the biggest donation I saw was $3,000. They're trying to donate to him since that black teen, Carmelo Anthony, raised over $700K after the stabbing of the other white teen. I remember that. I remember we talked about that, actually. And trying to say it's a double standard. Yeah, we looked into that, and the black kid shouldn't have had the knife at that little track meet, man. I will say that, and then, the white guy telling him like, hey, you can't be here and stuff like that. Yeah. If the black kid wasn't supposed to be there and the guy was just like, hey, you're supposed to be practice for the team and stuff like that, I can see how that can be, misconstrued as like, hey, get out of the tent, whatever. But he didn't say get out of the tent, N-word, he just said, hey, you're not supposed to be here, whatever. And the guy whipped out his knife, whatever, which, two wrongs don't make a right. I think that, that was wrong he should have never had the knife. I'll stand by that. David came back. He says, no way he's finding that money to get out. He needs to get urgent protection in prison, or he's going to be Tyrone's boyfriend in jail. Absolutely, man. It's going to happen. And, he's going to have to submit right away, completely just change his whole content strategy in jail, because it's going to be a whole new ball game.
He's chimping out. Call him a hard R and say, get the f away from me.
Those last two sentences, man. I was like, yeah, that's where you lost me, man. Like if you, I mean, it would have been crazy if he were to like wear a suit, go into the hood and say, look at this guy, this individual who's causing a ruckus in my community or whatever. Just, and completely like keep it completely clean the way he does it. That would be weird. That would be, you know, mildly entertaining and stuff, but just to see the backlash and how it happens and stuff. Of course he wouldn't be able to hold himself. He would still have to, you know, cater to his audience and drop the hard R.
On set initial bond at 1.25 million. 1.25 million.
Yeah, dude, that part where he closes his eyes, that's like the dog meme, whatever, where the dog is just like, just closed his eyes. Because yeah, man, that's a hefty amount, man. Probably more money than he's ever seen in his life.
Chud, you're beyond cooked at this point. Did y'all see his face? Did y'all see his eyes closed? That was a guy who wishes that he just would have put the streaming down and went home. That is the face of somebody who is
or picked up the hammer, you know, maybe continue doing his carpentry job, you know, and not like go around rage baiting people. Because I mean, honestly, he was a carpenter. He was out, you know, fixing up homes and stuff like that. And I mean, that could have been a good gig for a long time, you know, but he had to screw it up. I was like, okay, so you know, okay. Prosper came back. He says, laugh my ass off. I love his facial expression when he heard the bail. Dude, it was great. I wish we could have seen like the front version of it, you know, but the side profile was just enough. That was good.
Really defeated. That is the funniest face I've seen in a minute. After a bond hearing in which Chud found out that in order for him to walk out, he would have to put up $1.25 million. I think reality is finally set in. It was a hot day in that courtroom, but not for anybody that was a bystander, but for the dickhead who was running around, antagonizing people, dropping slurs, and trying to get some sort of content out of it.
We predicted this, man. We predicted this 2 weeks ago, that it's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of how, or, you know, it's just a matter of when, you know, it's going to happen. And he's just going to push somebody so far that, you know, they're not going to care. It could be a homeless guy in the street that has nothing to lose, a pot to piss in or whatever. And you're going to come around calling him the N-word or whatever and say, oh, he's chimping out and stuff. And then, yeah, I mean, he's going to freaking go buck wild on you because he wants you to shoot him. He wants you to do whatever you're threatening to do because he has nothing to lose. You know, there's plenty of people out there that you just need to come across them, and this whole content strategy is going to come crashing down, man. And yeah, it happened sooner than we thought. So Prospect came back and say they doxed his cameraman on Twitter. What? Damn, dude, that's crazy. See, cameraman, man, you gotta cover up, man. You can't have that stuff, man, because now everybody that was involved in this whole production and stuff are now going to be at risk as well. Same with Vitaly. Remember the South Korean? No, it was a Filipino guy. The Filipino guy that was videotaping Vitaly going all throughout the Philippines and stuff. He got charged too, you know, and I'm pretty sure he didn't have like any type of like crazy following before that whole situation happened. So I'm pretty sure he's still sitting in Filipino jail while Vitaly is already out running around in Miami and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure the people that have lesser of a following, they're kind of like behind the scenes people, they get it a lot worse because they don't have the type of support system that the people in front of the camera have.
Tell you something, this judge right here must be the biggest content creator of them all, because the way that he slapped down any sorts of hope that Chud the Builder had for getting out of jail or getting a slap on the wrist or anything like that was truly an entertaining spectacle.
Well, he wanted to make sure, I mean, Chud the Builder is a flight risk. Let's just say that out right now. Of course, you know, if he posts bail, he's going to skip town. You know, without a doubt. He has nothing tying him down. He has no family, no children that he's taking care of, whatever. He can just up and go, get in the truck and just drive until the gas runs out.
Case went from the free speech commentators saying that he would be home Monday to him realizing that he is going to be facing serious time, upwards of 56 years in jail if all of these charges hit. Right now, for Chud the Builder and his supporters, it's raining and it's pouring, and Omar and other commentators are laughing because this is hilarious. If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna go a long, long way for the channel. Now, back into the video. Chud the Builder had made an entire career and platform off of provoking people in public, but now that somebody—
It's crazy that like the clips that we're seeing of him they're not even like a few months old, man. This all happened recently. Like this whole persona that he has, yeah, it's been cultivating over a year and stuff, but like his viral stuff has only been a couple months old. So like this is all like happening so fast for this man.
Was shot. These prosecutors are taking this much more seriously. They are viewing him as a public safety threat, not as some sort of content creator. The 1.25 million, and that's million with an M dollar, which I don't think Chud can afford based off of his facial expression when that got delivered down, is a sign that, yo, gang, we've kind of had enough of you. Like we're tired of the nonsense, tired of the shenanigans, and we're gonna put our foot down and show that we don't allow this stuff in this state, this town, this country, this city, wherever. The judge that administers—
Yeah, make an example of him, man. Because I mean, that's gonna be kind of the one way that you're gonna kind of deter people from, you know, emulating this type of content. You know, people are gonna have to try to find another way and maybe go a little bit more extreme, or maybe dial it back a little bit. You know.
The bond amount is absolutely correct. Not only did Chud endanger the man that he had shot, thank God that he is okay, but he also endangered people around him. This was a public environment, a place in space where you're not even really supposed to have firearms like that, let alone discharge them. Like this was idiotic beyond belief. It's so amazing because Chud thought he was in the right. He thought he could do this all along. He thought that he was going to be able to get away with this. Remember, he's facing attempted murder, aggravated assault, reckless endangerment with a weapon, and employing a firearm during a dangerous felony.
Okay, let's read this right now. Earlier today, law enforcement officers responded to a shots fired incident outside of Montgomery County Courthouse in Clarksville. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office immediately launched an investigation into the incident. As a result of the investigation, Dalton Etherly, 28, was detained by criminal investigators and charged with criminal attempt and murder, employing a firearm during his felony. That's great. Aggravated assault and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon. Etherly was booked on into the Montgomery County Jail, where he was being held pending arraignment, at which time bond will be set. Sheriff Fusion said, "It's unfortunate that incidents like this are happening in our community. This kind of violence won't be tolerated, and our office will work to make sure those responsible are held accountable to the fullest extent of the law."
Those things are going to stick. Apparently, attempted criminal homicide carries a possible sentence of 15 to 60 years in the state of Tennessee. And you can tell that this whole situation is—
Dude, he's cooked, man. He's totally cooked.
Is bad just by people who you would expect to be responding positively to Chud the Builder in this situation, turning their back on him, and rightfully so.
Praying that Chud has at least one wingman on his jury and no grow hypers. Free Chud.
I say send him to jail. I don't think what he did was defensible. Yeah, at a certain point, if you're running around with a gun antagonizing people and then you shoot somebody, like, it's one thing if somebody attacks you for no reason and you shoot them. It's another thing if it's like, here I am with my live stream where I provoke confrontations. I hope I don't have to kill anybody today. Like, I don't know, man. I wish that he could just reform and, you know, they give him a slap on the wrist and he doesn't do anything again. But I mean, that was going to happen no matter what.
But if you thought—
This is coming from Nick Fuentes, the guy that pepper sprayed a woman that came up to his door and he kicked her off the steps, like the 2 to 3 steps on his porch. Oh man, they finally released that video. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not. It might be on. Let's check it out. I think it might be there. Let's see. What was it? Nick Fuentes. I think it's like video of kicking lady. I think that's gonna be there. Let's see. Oh, is that video on here? Probably it was taken down, most likely. Cause yeah, I saw it. Like, I should have saved it, man. Damn it. I'm always finding this stuff and I'm like, oh, damn it. And I never save it. Yeah, it's not here anymore. Probably got deleted. Yeah, the video got released of when that lady came up to him, whatever. I guess she had her phone out and he basically pepper sprayed her, kicked her down the stairs. She dropped her phone and then I guess he picked up her phone and went back in the house. And the whole thing was on his little Ring doorbell camera. Oh, damn it. I should have saved it. Oh, well.
The $1.25 million bond was high extreme.
Prosper came back. He's like, you know what's bad when Nick Fuentes don't even mess with you? Absolutely, bro. It's like, he's like, look, I'm not even touching this, man. It's like, you're crazy, man. And I work with Kanye.
And probably one of the worst things that Chud could have got. Don't worry. It actually gets worse. And you got to stick with me because I'm going to take you through it all. People were questioning why this bond was so high. Now, while there are some people who turn their back that are normal suspects that you would think would be supporting him, it doesn't mean that all of them turn their back. Myron Gaines thought it was going to be a good idea to bring some sort of legal legal expert onto the platform to try to question some things about this situation, specifically why the bond was so high.
So he got a $1.25 million bail. I know he has a GoFundMe. I think he has enough to probably post the bail because I think he's got to post 10% or whatever.
I doubt it.
Well, sorry.
No, it's going to be it'll be more than so a normal bail. You're right. It's 10%. But when the exposure for the bail bondsman is this high, they want 10% as their fee.
Yeah,
and then they want collateral for the rest.
Gotcha.
So
put up a house.
They
or something.
won't take your house, but they'll ask you to put up your house. Right?
Gotcha.
I'm sure Myron would probably put some money towards getting him out of there, man, because he was like, look, man. He's like, I think I'm pretty sure, I don't want to poison the well, but I'm pretty sure Myron is kind of like looking at this guy in favor. And it's like, yeah, man, you were just exercising your free speech, right, whatever. And I'm a free speech absolutist, so maybe you should come on the podcast.
Okay, so
By the way, this is not an insane, I mean, it's a very high bond. I've seen it before in murder cases, attempted murder cases. I know one of the gripe that's in the community is that they see black suspects commit worse crimes, not attempted murder, but literally murder, literally assassination, and get like a $200,000 bail. That's one of the legitimate grievances I talked about at the start of our show today. This is a real concern. This should not be happening.
Myron is so funny. He tries to invite some law expert on there to try to validate some of his claims and concerns to give Chud a slim light of day, but the legal guy can't even do it, right? He doesn't even present him an opening in which he could weasel out of this whole situation. He shuts down some of these narratives quick, fast.
Sonic, welcome to the stream, sir. Sonic is in. He's got the Rumble video. Oh, you know what? That probably is where I saw it on Rumble. This is the lady that got pushed by Nick. Yeah, we will. Well, I don't know, because it is Rumble. Whenever I put stuff from Rumble on my stream, it will usually get cut, whatever. But that is where I saw it, so you guys can definitely go check that out. Appreciate you, Sonic, for coming through for that. Appreciate you, man.
In a hurry. God, what a loser. We don't have to question why the bond was set so high. The judge told us. It's serious. Like, these felony charges are extremely serious. He didn't just endanger the life of the person that he shot, but the other people that were there as well. You can't just do that. You literally...
Myron basically, like, defending Chud the Builder and his actions and stuff, it just kind of like harkens back to like, was Myron really like a balanced guy to be working at like HSI, whatever, and working in the government and stuff like that? Do you think it just, maybe he wasn't a good fit because of the way that he thinks, like he's just way too open-minded, it's like, it's not bad to be open-minded, but it's also good to have a little bit of sense, and I think Myron, he will look at like a person who is obviously just this pariah online, whatever, that everybody's just like, it's so easy to hate this person because of the stuff that they put out and the stuff that they do and everything. So it's like, Myron's like, I have to find a way that I can support this guy or spin a narrative in his favor. And it's crazy. It's just like so much work, Myron. Like, why would you do that? But again, Myron is he's messed up, dude. He's messed up all the way. And I think he's just like, look, if everybody's going this way, I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to get a lot of controversy and engagement out of it.
Literally cannot just endanger all the people that were in a courtyard of a public place, especially a place in which if you felt like your life was in danger, you could have gotten a lot of help and resources almost instantly. Also, for what it's worth, he was already out on bond for previous situations in which the law had said, hey, buddy, you better keep your nose clean. But like a child at a daycare, he couldn't do that. He couldn't grab some tissues and keep his nose clean. He had to continuously poke and prod and stick his nose into things. And now he's going to be facing some jail time. And for what it's worth, they're going to rough him up while he's in these holding cells and waiting for trial and stuff like that. He wanted to be that guy. Now they're going to make an example of him.
Words with venom, words that bind, words used like weapons to cloud my mind. I'm a person, I'm a man, but no matter how I try, people just say, hey, there's that guy.
He's no longer some sort of internet troll or memeable figure, at least not intentionally. He's somebody who is an actual violent criminal, somebody that they are going to put to the test the strength and resilience of the American legal system. One that I'm not normally on the side of, but boy, oh boy, are they about to make an example out of this dude. That smile and that internet memeability is smooth wiped off of Chud's face when he realizes things aren't going his way. And again, I said intentional memeability because unintentionally, he gave us arguably the funniest, and I do mean between funniest clips and images from this whole bond hearing when he realizes, oh my God, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. When them eyes close, once he hears that 1.25 million, which we know he can't put up. Like, he doesn't have the money to put up the 10%. He doesn't have the house that's worth it all.
The money that he's raising from a fundraiser won't be able to be used towards it. So that's going to be, because didn't we talked about this like 2 weeks ago, that whole angle of the give, send, go so that he can, take care of his son and all that stuff. Like, his son isn't with him. His son hasn't been with him for a long time. So, like, it's all a scam, like, we expose that, and anybody that's donating to him now is just donating to him because they're just like, look, like, we support everything you talk about, like, keep up the fight, brother. It's like that.
This is hilarious. But if Chud thought he was screwed, like I said, it only gets worse. Because of the severity and the magnitude of this situation, the support, while coming from these online donators, may be quote unquote real, every other aspect of his life, he's not getting that same support. It's been reported that the public defender's office has declined to take on this case.
Attorney Jake Fendi has appointed to represent Etherly at the hearing. Court records show that he has represented Etherly in the past. Because remember, he's been in the Montgomery court system at least 4 times, because I've seen 4 different mugshots of him. And yeah, he's got that same emo haircut, like, all throughout, like, I guess, high school and after school. In a statement hours after the hearing, Finley told CNN he could not share much about the case as it is still pending, but added he became Etherly's attorney after the public defender's office filed a motion to withdraw the case. Finley said his office has been receiving hateful phone calls and emails since he was appointed to Etherly, but his role is to represent people regardless of their race, religion, ideology, or allegations against them. This entire case is disturbing. Racism is a terrible thing, and it's a flawed method of thinking, the attorney's statement reads in part. So, I mean, for him to have that whole idea, that racism is a terrible thing, whatever, but we can see how Dalton Etherly has monetized this for content. And yeah, I mean, it's just like the worst people out there are gravitated towards this, and they're supporting him, and it's like, unfortunately, racism will never truly die, because there's always going to be people that are going to perpetuate this stuff, and people that are young enough that don't have, any type of strong male figure in their life, whatever, they're going to watch Chud the Builder and be like, that's how a real man's supposed to act,
That's right. The defense that you're offered as a citizen of these United States, yeah, they've declined because of the clips, because of the outrage, because of the backlash that he's caused over his lifetime. Chud took privileges for granted. He didn't realize that freedom and access to legal representation and the ability to go into restaurants and stuff like that were not just guaranteed to you because you're an American and you have free speech and you can say what you want and blah, 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 blah. No, these things are privileges. And he's going to find out really, really soon. The fact that he now has to put any sorts of funds that he is accumulating towards his legal expenses are insane. And I know
that 100K is going to get drained so quick, man. It's practically probably already gone, because these guys are probably charging him top dollar in terms of representation, and they're probably not going to win anything for him. If anything, they'll probably get maybe like a couple charges lessened down, whatever, but he's probably still going to have to plead guilty to a lot of it, because a lot of it's on video. He was dumb enough to actually stream it live for everybody, and that's all they need.
That's not what he expected to do. I know he probably expected to put any sorts of donations that he was getting towards his bond in order to step out of jail and wait for trial and stuff like that. But he definitely got a rude awakening in regards to that, but we'll get to that in 2 seconds. But speaking of donations, the funny thing about this whole thing is that the legal system is treating this as some sort of real life situation, but his online supporters are treating this as some sort of donation goal. Those same audience members who were sending him donations in the stream are now the ones sending it to Give, Send, Go, or whatever other donation site that he had. But the problem is Chud and his supporters are about to be in for the rudest awakening when it comes to how their dollars and cents will be spent. As it's been reported, the district attorney's office will move to block Chud's fundraisers from being used for bond. Even if Chud can use the money and finds a bondsman to put up 10% of the 1.25 million, it's my understanding he still needs collateral for the rest. Now, at the time of recording this, he has about 200
Wow, so it's gone up even more than what I had before. When I saw it, it was at 100K, like 100K, like 2,000 whatever. And now it's at 211K. That's crazy. Wow. That's incredible.
$11,000 that'll be nothing better than money for soup cans, ramen noodles, honey bun packets when he inevitably gets sent to prison, because they are not going to allow this man to use this for bond. I guess it could be used for a lawyer when ultimately his public defender says that he won't be joining Chud along this journey. But
dude, he's going to be training those honey buns in jail, man, for just time alone, dude. Like, give me a break, man. My ass needs a break. That's crazy, dude. Like, he's gonna have like hella commissary, but I'm sure all that stuff's gonna get taken from him too.
then again, you'll also have to find another lawyer who will take on the case. And I'm pretty sure he will. Lawyers love money. But it's nasty and sad as I scrolled through the comment section of his donation
White
page.
Lives Matters. I couldn't condone running around throwing out N-bombs, but it's a question that needs to be addressed. Does the N-word justify people chipping out and physically harming people?
People that are really thinking that they are...
Stop these dumb blank... Please, they chimp out too much.
Taking some sort of stance. I think the irony in all of this, though, is they're treating it as if it's some sort of content. The videos that we are getting are clips from the live stream. They'll probably live stream.
Yeah, all the Chud viewers, man. I'm wondering what you guys are going to have to watch now for the next couple years, man. It's like, who are you going to gravitate towards? I guess you got to go back to Myron, I guess, until Chud gets out.
The trial and the court case as well. And then the donations and the give, send, go are, you know, donations that people send to streamers. This is TTS right here. The difference is that normally while on the street, Chud would be having fun, you know, because this was supposed to be a consequence-free environment. But the reality is that his life hangs in the balance. In this situation, and all these people sending all this money and stuff like that to him are not really having an impact on his life. It's almost meaningless. I know he would trade any and all of that for freedom at this point, but hey man, if you wanted to be the birthday, Tennessee is gonna make you the birthday. These people are sickos and weirdos though, because this is not just, hey, everyone deserves defense or everyone should have a fair shake or whatever. As I keep scrolling, these are people.
No, he's gonna have like I said, he's probably gonna have a huge commissary for all the money that they're probably gonna allow him to have. He's gonna probably, the best angle is probably try to be everybody's best friend, you know? Just try to like, look, man, it's like, I'll give you a honey bun, I'll give you a cigarette, whatever you want, man. Just, you know, pass over me, man. Just pass over me. Don't mess with me, man.
People that are approving this person's message. And they're not approving the message of free speech or him getting railroad. They're approving the racism that he was doing in his content. Full stop. The worst part about it is that these supporters are giving proof of concept that if you do go down this route, if you do this type of content, you will have a group and an army of people who are willing to back you financially. This will make...
we'll go back with the lady in the park, you know, the mom that raised over $1 million, you know, like, yeah, she probably will never be employable again because her name got so big and stuff. But, you know, she was able to get money and stuff. And then, you know, you got people that are on the online space that lost all of their monetization. You know, you got Lily Gaddis and Nick Fuentes, both of them not earning any money. They have to figure out how to get money to them and stuff, you know, through their Patreons and whatever they have. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's a quick rise, but it's a hard fall. That's what it is.
Makes sense as to why, even with Chud the Builder just recently getting put out the paint, there are already imitators and copycats popping up left, right, and sideways.
Just chimping out, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit. It's wild out here, man. It's wild, bro.
Hey, you see him jumping out?
Yo.
No, bro. Hey, Jerome's chipping out, baby.
Yo, shout out Chud the Builder, bro. Chud the Builder. Chud the Builder, dude. Shout out Chud, bro. Shout out Chud.
Hey, what up, Chud?
Yo, that's what's up, bro. Dude, yeah, bro, they were chimping out. I saw that shit, dude. What the fuck was going on, man?
We'll find Chud, baby.
Dude, you got your fucking dogs and everything. They're like fucking freaking out on you, trying to fight you, bro. What the fuck is that, dude?
Chimping out, baby.
Yo, what's up? Beautiful dogs, by the way, dude. I know it won't bite, dude, because you're a white guy, dude. He's not gonna bite me, bro. Fucking... beautiful, man. You have a great day, man.
Now, I'm not going to get into it too much onto this
It's
video.
just kind of sad how, like, you know, somebody comes along, blazes the trail, you know, of hatred, and then, like, all of the imitators come out and try to eat on him while he's gotten caught and stuff like that. Like, look, I'll do it differently this time. I'm not going to brandish a weapon. I'm not going to have any mace, whatever. I'm just going to go completely willy-nilly.
Yo, I still got some grave to gritty on for Chud, but it's actually disgusting that people think that this is a viable way of making content. It's actually nasty that the ordinary citizens of Nashville feel like this is the way to talk. I think they're in for a rude awakening though, not realizing that a case was built around Chud the Builder for Chud the Builder, and he will be the blueprint for, you know, this level of antagonizing people and the charges that are to be faced after the fact. But long story less long, the imitators are here. The copycats have saw that this is a viable way. They see that there is a certain brand and platform that is stamped in the upper right or lower left corner of every single clip that is willing to push them out to the masses. And they think that this is a viable way to make a career. It's not though. And all in all, I think that this is why the DA for Tennessee is making an example out of Chud. Like I've already stated, they have been looking at Chud underneath the microscope. He didn't get a regular questionnaire when he was arrested the first time, or well, the second time for stealing the food at the restaurant. He got questioned by the FBI. They had been building a background on this man. They had been tailing him. They understand what the content is. They understand who he is, what he stands for, the audience, etc., etc. And they want to squash any and everybody from believing that this is something that should continue on in the future. They're gonna make sure that Chud can't turn internet support into legal freedom. And if they do succeed in their methods, then that should send a message to people saying like, yo, you can't provoke people for views, then get charged in a shooting, and then feel like, hey, the way for me to get back to my freedom is by crowdfunding resources in order for me to be released. Like, no, that's not how this works. But I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think more people, you know, especially people, Caucasian people, are starting to realize that, you know, they're not as safe and secure, you know, as anybody else. You know, like you can get just as bad of a charge as a black person or a brown person or whatever, you know, like, and the whole thing that happened with the ICE agents and stuff shooting that one lady, that white lady, whatever. It's like that kind of shocked them. They're like, oh crap, you know, like we can catch some fire too, you know? So it's like, yeah, man, it's like, it's kind of a new America now, man. Everybody can get these consequences, and you know, for those that want to push against the boundaries, they're going to find out real quick that, yeah, I mean, it's like law enforcement doesn't care who you are now. You know, it's like they're going to take you out, and yeah, they might set a higher bond because of your social economic status, whatever, but they're still going to make sure that you serve your time.
And if Chud the Builder was able to use these funds, it really wouldn't matter. And this is the part where Chud the Builder is most screwed in this situation. We all know that Chud the Builder is a pathological liar who is looking to lean on the self-defense argument in order to have his release. But the legal breakdown as to what happened is going to reveal the most damning piece of evidence that states why he won't be able to get up out of jail. Now, we all know Chud the Builder's story was shaky from the jump. He claimed that these people pursued him, but knowing what we know about him, that didn't make a lot of sense. It was also interesting that we could never really get the clips from the live stream or any moment before the situation happened. The only clips that we ever got was him talking to the police. Knowing Chud the Builder records everything, there had to be some evidence that existed prior to. Well, it seems as though police have found it, and what they are claiming is that Chud the Builder wasn't doing anything in self-defense. In fact, Chud the Builder pulled the gun before the altercation. The arrest warrant specifically states...
Yeah, so this is the video that was released. I believe I saw this on X as well. But yeah, this basically shows the entire interaction to when the guy is on the ground after being shot. And I think you can hear people, I guess the bystanders, whatever, in the you know, speaking over like, oh, he's been shot. So let's listen to it.
Etherly stood in a bladed stance and reached for his firearm. Thereafter, a physical altercation ensued. Translation: Joshua followed.
Oh, well, this isn't the full video, obviously, for YouTube, but I saw it on X. I'm pretty sure you guys can find it. But yeah, so he was standing kind of like completely unprovoked, whatever, and yeah, he basically whipped out the gun and shot the guy, shot himself. And yeah, dude, it happened pretty quick. But yeah, the cops were right there because it was a freaking courthouse. You know, it's like he completely saw red, didn't see what was going on, and yeah, he was down quick.
Saw Chud pull his weapon and acted in self-defense. Now, how stupid could you be? Like, this is where Chud is arguably the stupidest person that I know. His whole claim of I was attacked, so I protected myself, as if nobody else was gonna see this in a courtyard or a courthouse that has multiple camera angles, multiple eyewitness accounts, multiple people that saw it. I mean, you were streaming, you were all these things. The fact that he thought that he could get away with this and not think that people would, I don't know, realize that there was some sort sort of footage or image or testimony before the account is the stupidest shit in the whole world. Chud's whole defense
Yeah, you can get away with anything these days, man. Anything that you do inside of a building or outside of a government building, man, it's like you're just gonna have to mind all your P's and Q's and like don't even try to anything, because yeah, it's like they have street light cameras, man, and every building has a camera on the corner of the building, man. It's just like you can't, I mean, we have satellite imaging that can hover 15 feet just right above your head from space. So, you know, there's no getting away with any of this.
Is on the fact that he claims that he was being pursued first. But now that we know that that's looking like it's not the case, then what are we even doing here? We're about to have a serious conversation about him attempting to murder somebody. That's it. That's it, period, point blank.
So the prosecutor's looking at these 5 elements to see which one looks vulnerable to being disproven beyond a reasonable doubt. If you were the initial aggressor or the provoker, you lose innocence, you lose self-defense. Prosecutor knows that. The next is imminence. You have to be defending yourself against a threat that's either actually occurring in the moment or immediately about to occur. The fist is pulled back, the guy's reaching for a weapon. It can't be something that happened in the past. It can't be something.
And I think what Chud the Builder did say in his, you know, statement was that the guys were laughing at him. So he walked over to them, and then that's when the whole conflict started, because he said, you know, do you like my suit, whatever? And then the guy's like, oh, I mean, just walk away, whatever. And then he said, oh, look, you're going to chimp out and stuff. And then that's how that escalated. So yeah, it's like, if he never walked over to them, then yeah, none of this would have ever popped off. So he's completely the aggressor.
That might happen in the future. Proportionality, and this could be a problem for Chud, is you can only use deadly defensive force if you're facing a deadly force threat. If you're only facing a non-deadly force threat, you can't use a gun.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. The fact that the guy punched him, whatever, he should have met him back with a punch. But, you know, we haven't seen Chud the Builder physically punch anybody. He just goes for the pepper spray and the gun and stuff. So, if he can even throw a punch.
Defend yourself against a non-deadly force threat. And usually a punch is going to be considered a non-deadly force threat. So that could be an issue here. Avoidance is the fourth element. That has to do with whether or not you have a legal duty to retreat before you can defend yourself. Tennessee, like most states, is a stand your ground state. So in otherwise lawful self-defense, you don't have a legal duty to retreat. But what if the self-defense is not otherwise lawful? What if it has some other defect? Then even in Tennessee, which was one of the first stand your ground states, you can reacquire a legal duty to retreat. And then finally, reasonableness. And this is a broad target of attack, because it just asks generally, would a reasonable and prudent person do what you did? And let's face it, anyone who's a social media provocateur is doing a lot of stuff that's kind of outside the Overton window and does not look reasonable to a normie jury. If Chud provoked this fight, again, we don't know that happened, but if it provoked the fight, that complicates Chud's claim of
He 100% provoked the fight, man. There's no question about it. Everything is on video.
Self-defense, that's a target for attack.
The term self-defense isn't some sort of get out of jail free card. It's not something that you could just throw out there into the ethos and hope that it sticks. There has to be some sort of backing behind it. And this is where Chud the Builder and any of these free speech guys, self-defense guys, go absolutely wrong. They take these social media definitions, they take these definitions that they've heard from their favorite content creators, or maybe in passing by in lay conversations, and think that it is applicable to law. But the problem is that once you get in that courthouse with that judge that has that gavel, that jury box that's full of 12, a bailiff, and some attorneys, they don't care about what the Tate brothers have told you what free speech is over the past couple of years, or what Sneako or Myron have told you what free speech and self-defense are over the past couple of years. They care about what that book says. And if you go against that book, it seems as though you'll be going to jail. And it really, and I do mean really, does not help that his whole branding and identity is surrounded by antagonizing, provoking, claiming that he was potentially going to do these things, saying that the series finale was going to be a dead chimp on the pavement, you know, brandishing.
Oh, we got to go back. That was let's go check that out real quick. What was that? 39. Series finale is dead. Chimp on the pavement, and you monkeys riding when I walk free. Stay tuned. And then non-compliant said, delete this. Delete this. And he's like, no. And he's like, saying that sort of makes it premeditated, you know? And then he's like, premeditated self-defense. The entire internet is calling for violence against me. Yeah, I'm premeditating my defense. Jesus, dude. That's it, man. It's like you honestly, you have left a very well documented footprint for people to just stack this entire case against you. Chian Tozer Goes came back. He says, we need to get Chud a sign that says I'm stupid. Dude, absolutely, man. I mean, he has no filter. He has no like thought processes like, you know, I mean, maybe I shouldn't have said that, you know, maybe I shouldn't have posted that, you know, because now all of this is going to stack against him, and there's really going to be nothing that is going to be left that's going to redeem him.
The series finale was going to be a dead chimp on the pavement, you know, brandishing other weapons and pulling those things first, because they are going to pull up video evidence of him at other different altercations in which he pulled mace first on people that did not have any other sorts of weapons to be used against him. None of this stuff helps at all. If your whole identity is this antagonizer, it becomes hard to convince 12 people that, hey, I was the victim. I was the one who was provoked in this situation. I was the one who was tasked with getting up out of my skin as they.
And the thing is, man, if they're like actual adults that he's going to be talking to, which I'm pretty sure they are, you know, they're going to be like, okay, so somebody was laughing at you, so you decided to walk over them and engage them in, you know, whatever. Like you didn't like if somebody, you couldn't just ignore it, you know. It's like you're basically going to a courthouse because you have a case that you have to be there for, and you're like, oh, this is just the perfect opportunity to stand my ground against somebody who's laughing at me. It's like I don't see anybody having any type of sympathy for this guy.
Roll behind you a highlight reel of you doing this for the past 3-4 weeks or so. Like, whew, this brother is cooked. So right now, it's not looking good for Chud. Right now, the bond is high. The defense for him wants to step away from him. The prosecutors are coming down hard on him. His ability to use any sort of fan-funded money that he is getting from his supporters is looking like it's being challenged. There are major, and I do mean major, holes in his defense case. Now the real takeaway is simple. Chud the Builder has built this audience by treating public racism like entertainment. But now the consequences are real, and his supporters are trying to protect his character. But the courtroom is not judging his character, they're judging the defendant. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Tennessee is extremely, and I do mean extremely, close to me. I'm thinking about taking a ride up there for those court days so we can be live and in person and get the on the grounds footage as we get to see this dumbass get the book thrown at him because he thought that he could defend himself in a public area. I'm laughing because it's so funny. This is the funniest thing in the world to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is hilarious.
I mean, it's called comeuppance, man. Honestly, you know, this is like karmic retribution, whatever you want to call it, man. I mean, it was gonna happen eventually, you know, and you know, like we said on this channel, we predicted that it was gonna happen, and you know, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, man. I mean, it's as simple as that. Shout out to Omeezy for covering this. I wanted to now get to the whole thing with Sneako, because Sneako was basically defending Chud the Builder. He was in a conversation with Akademiks, whatever, and Akademiks was trying to kind of relate the whole conversation to, you know, the N-word being used to, like, if it's supposed to be a word that's not supposed to trigger people, which is Sneako's whole thing, is like, you know, just don't get triggered by it. Well, then he was just like, well, so can you just say F Allah, whatever? And of course, you know, he was just, you know, Sneako had nothing. But let's see how he reacts to this.
That word has no meaning. Say no. Oh.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you to say it because it should have no meaning, right? There's a fucking meaning to it, right? Clearly. Okay. Like, you wouldn't say that, right?
Look at him. Look at his face. He's just like, oh, wait. Oh, God. This is not... I was not expecting to be hit with this today. He's like, oh God, because now he can't even like really argue with this because like he has to really watch what he says when it comes to this whole grift that he's on.
Struggling. Look at him struggling. Think.
Shout out to Young Don Reacts, man. This is, I mean, we've had him on the channel a couple times, and you know, he always puts out really good videos. But I really wanted to see his take on this. With, I believe this video was actually sent to me by Decoder, so shout out to you, sir. But yeah, I did want to see his take on this because, I mean, Sneako, he always will kind of have these bad takes, you know, and he loves to back white supremacists and all this stuff, and he likes to stand behind the whole free speech thing, you know, just like Myron, because he's just like a little puppet of Myron. And I'm just glad that, you know, people in his own circle are calling him out and, you know, making him look stupid.
Now I gotta be honest with you, me siding with and applauding DJ Akademiks for anything was not on my 2026 bingo card, but here we are.
Yeah, this is a rare Ack W, which, you know, Very, very little times have we had to say that. He's been in the news for his own stuff in terms of simping over women that he puts on pedestals that, you know, end up sleeping around with all these other guys and taking them for all his money and stuff, and he still takes them back. Yeah, he's got his own set of problems.
You got to give the man a round of applause. We got to give the man a round of applause because he ends up debating Sneako on the topic of Chud the Builder and completely washes him, completely embarrasses him, completely cooks him. Now, I don't know how impressive this really should be. Getting a W off of Sneako is incredibly easy at this point.
Yeah, so the tweet says, Sneako speaks on Chud the Builder, revealing he spoke to him and warned him to stay inside for a while because people are looking and itching for violence over his content. I reached out to him. I told him, bro, you should probably do some desktops because a lot of people are gunning for you.
He's constantly being a hypocrite. He's constantly contradicting himself. He's constantly flip-flopping. And you see, that's what happens when you're trying to grift in too many avenues. He's got grifts that are contradicting other grifts that he's grifting. He's grift maxing.
We gotta call him Griftco, man, because that's what he is, man. He just changes from one grift to the next, and like I said, probably in like 6 months' time, not even a year, he's probably gonna have a completely different ideology.
So naturally, it creates a lot of holes in his ideologies and his arguments that make it easy to exploit. Right? He's trying to grift to the white supremacists, and so he's sucking Nick Fuentes' dick. But he's also trying to grift the Muslims, and the Quran clearly says that you are not to befriend or partner or ally with anyone who mocks your religion or disrespects your religion. But Nick Fuentes is constantly doing that to Muslims. And so it's an easy contradiction to point out. But this is happening all the time for him. Anyway, let's explore this. This begins with DJ Akademiks coming across a clip of Sneako trying to defend Chud the Builder in some capacity. Let's check that clip out.
It says Sneako said he spoke to him and warned him to stay.
Chud the Builder's side. Yeah, I saw that. What do you guys think about Chud the Builder? What do you guys think about him? He chimped out on me. He chimped out on me when I met with Ed Craven, the Kick CEO. He was really upset that I had a meeting with,
who gives a fuck what he thinks,
the Kick CEO. And I messaged him, I'm like, you chimped out on me. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And I saw he's getting his hat snatched. I'll just be straight up. I reached out to him and I told him, bro, you should probably do some desktops because a lot of people are thinking that.
Yo, Sneako, I'm gonna keep it a bean. You my friend, but we might have to take your nigga pass. We can't have you say nigga no more neither, bro. Hold on now, nigga. Hold on.
Now, Sneako's been an anti-black.
We have to remember that Sneako has he did the whole Nazi salute thing with Myron. You know, he worked very closely with, you know, Ye during his time of going crazy, you know, and then he also has just had, you know, this whole like spectrum of different thought processes and stuff of like, you know, you need to put out love speech or whatever, but then like, you know, you have to like stand tall, you know, hard against, you know, the JQ and all this other stuff. And, you know, it's just like, I don't know, for him, it's like, and then, you know, also there's another thing I can't forget. His favorite Netflix show was Cuties, you know, the underage girl video thing, you know, which basically was like pandering to pedos. Yeah, it was just kind of weird. Like, I can't really understand Sneako in terms of like his whole points. I can't take him seriously because of his points. And yeah, it's just crazy that people still support him after all of this.
Racist for a long time. I don't know if DJ Akademiks is just so oblivious to this reality. I don't know why this is the straw that breaks the camel's back for Akademiks. But hey, okay, whatever.
Nah, nigga. Hell nah. You see the N-word don't hit it.
This cuck needs to shut the fuck up. Oh man, the cuck thing is never leaving Sneako, man. That's always going to be there for him.
Like, you look like you from Vietnam or some shit, nigga. Hold on now, brother. You over here telling this nigga safety tips? Nah. Let him Let him stay out in the streets. What do you mean? Talking about you tell him to stay inside like you care about as well. Yo, Sneako, we might have to revoke your nigga pass, bro.
I mean, you knew he was good friends with Nick Fuentes already, though, Akademiks. What's the difference between...
He's good friends with Nick. He's best friends with Myron. Both of them are openly racist, man.
There's no difference between Chud the Builder and Nick Fuentes. I mean, except the fact that Nick Fuentes is actually an intelligent racist, and Chud the Builder, he's a moron with rocks for brains. So granted, Nick Fuentes would not put himself in a position to be assaulted the way how Chud the Builder is doing. He's not going out and offending black people to their face. So there is that difference, but at their core, they are both equally racist. And so, you know, what's the problem? What's the conflict here if you're cool with hanging out with a guy like Sneako who's best friends with a guy like Nick Fuentes? Doesn't make sense to me.
Word up, bro. Hell nah. You can't be telling the white supremacists how to survive the storm. What the fuck? Yo, let me put it in your words. It's like telling the Israel niggas how to... Yo, what's wrong with you, brother? Nah, hell nah, Sneako. We might have to, like, do a research on you, bro. We don't know if you could say nigga for the next month, bro. You tweaking. How the hell you over
for
here?
The next month?
Trying to
see, this is the problem with the sellout. They're constantly trying to find ways to excuse racists and give them passes and forgive them and
yeah, like just be mad at him temporarily for this, or you know, just be like, hey, yeah, he made a little bit of a mistake, but no, this is something that, you know, you just have to kind of add to the files, man, and don't ever like let up on him, you know, like it's something that he seriously needs to address.
It's exhausting. This is the real black fatigue right here. This exhausting nonsense that we must endure.
The racist nigga advice on how to keep being racist and not, what the
so he goes ahead, he has a problem with this. I guess Sneako catches wind of this and they decide to get on stream together and they start to debate. So let's fast forward to that moment right now.
But what did I say that you're upset about? I told him to stop doing the IRL streams like that, and it's a bad idea. So why?
I want him to continue. I want him to continue.
You want something violent to happen?
No,
I don't want violence. I'm love speech. I don't want to see people antagonizing one another. I don't want to see hate.
But you got to understand that that's his whole content strategy. He's going to antagonize. So if you want him to stay inside, he's still going to antagonize people. So it's like this whole like thing with love speech, like shielding his whole thing with like, no, I think he should be able to be racist from the safety of his own home and whatever. It's like, no, just let him do his thing. Let him do it how he wants to do it, you know, and let him go out on his own.
I don't want to see something bad happen. So I said you should probably go inside. It's going to end up bad.
If you are advocating for love speech, which is bullshit, but if you are advocating for love speech, wouldn't you actually, instead of telling Chud the Builder to do desktop streams, wouldn't you tell him to stop antagonizing black people, to stop trying to offend black people and incite violence out of black people? How wouldn't you tell him to, hey, this is a racial slur that offends people that you're just saying for no reason. How about you just stop that? Wouldn't you encourage him to do that? No, instead you encourage him to continue the behavior, but just from the safety of his own home. Right? So
doesn't make it right, you know? It's just like, I don't know. And you know, if he were to tell Chud the Builder to basically like stay on the street, you know, but just kind of change his content strategy, whatever, like people would still not care. They wouldn't care if he was like starting to be nice to black people and stuff and trying to like build a bridge and stuff, because people would still remember him for all of the other stuff he did. So it's just like, why are you trying to change now, man? It's like, we remember who you are. We know who you are.
You're not advocating for people behaving in a way that reduces the amount of unnecessary offense that exists in the world.
Antagonize someone's going to act in a way. It's just a bad idea.
I'm not saying I want him to stop because of violence happening. I want it, based on what he's saying he's down to stand on whatever he's down to he's been saying. I actually believe if something was going to happen to him, it would probably be a Caucasian that would probably hurt him. You know, usually when guys are spitting all of that political stuff, I don't see a lot of black people.
And also, we need to remember, if he does stay inside and does his little desktop stream, still doing the same type of content, that doesn't stop him from getting swatted. There's still ways of people to find out where he lives, or whatever, and call the SWAT team on him, whatever, and get him that way. I mean, there's no real safety.
You know what I mean? Look at Charlie Kirk. Who clapped him? Look at all these who keep trying to shoot at Trump. It's the white dude. So when he's talking about First Amendment right, and he's basically also saying, hey, he got his Second Amendment right. To me, that's political. He says he's a free speech advocate. Black people usually mind their business. Okay? If they have issues, they have issues with people that are in their vicinity over actual things that, would make sense for interpersonal issues. This guy is talking politics, and just look at the people who've been smoking the politicians.
Okay, that's very true.
So I think the person who gonna handle him would be white, but I'm not saying that he should continue that, because I'm like, hey, listen, if he's that radical,
do you think he should be handled violently?
I think he encourages it.
But
he's a man that has nothing to lose. Okay, if it were to happen, I think he would welcome it, because he has nothing left to lose. He has no child to care for. He has no career. He has just this online thing right now that's making him money, because he's not hireable in any sense of the word. So yeah, it's like, what else does he have? He has nothing to lose. If someone were to end it for him, they'd be doing him a favor.
What?
Do you think that somebody should do something violent to him?
No. But I think they should meet him with the energy that he has, right? So
that's why I told him, I don't know why you're upset. I told him you should stop doing these IRL streams.
They should tell him to stop the rhetoric.
Yeah, that's what you should do.
The rhetoric altogether. It's like, he's just like, Sneako, he only has a way of like looking at it from like a smaller perspective rather than the grander perspective. It's like, no, change the content, like, do something that uplifts people, whatever. If you want to be like pro-white and everything like that, then figure it out, to do it in a way that you're not going to get banned, But as of right now, the strategy that he has is not working. It's not sustainable.
That's what you should do. Exactly. How about you stop going around? See, Nick Fuentes, and this is what I've said so many times about these bootlicking sellout raccoons, people like Sneako. They end up having to be more ridiculous and more racist than the actual white supremacists. You got Nick Fuentes, who is an actual white man. Granted, he has some kind of Hispanic lineage, we know that, but race is based on phenotypical traits. Nick Fuentes, he looks like a white man.
Nick Fuentes is a white passing person, yeah.
Or he is a white man and his mother is white, right? And so Nick Fuentes, an actual white man and a leader in the white supremacist spaces, he's saying that Chud is wrong for going around talking like this. Why can't Sneako, a quarter black, quarter Filipino, quarter Jewish, quarter whatever the fuck, why can't he, a man with no Caucasian DNA essentially, why can't he take the same position? Because in order to prove his allegiance to the white supremacists, he must be more ridiculous and more racist than the white supremacists, than the Caucasian white supremacists. Isn't that sad?
We should disarm the meanings of these words. We can't let words like that control us.
This is where it kind of, the whole conversation is about to spiral out of control, because now he's talking about just words not being used to trigger people, and that it shouldn't. You should be bigger than just words. You shouldn't let words get to you, whatever. And Axe is about to answer to that.
Why is that the only word where people feel justified in America to act violently over?
Well, you don't. So does Sneako believe that nobody has ever been punched in the mouth for saying words besides the N-word? Is that what he's saying? He's lying and trying to say that the N-word is the only word in the entire English vocabulary that has ever incited violence. What is he talking about? People get punched in the face every day for saying all kinds of shit. Saying shit about people's mothers, right? Talking about, people's wives, people's girlfriends.
Talking about people's dead loved ones, man. I mean, that's enough to trigger people, Even Sneako's religion that he's following, whatever. Like, you can't speak ill of the prophet, you know, without seeking some violence from the people that believe in it. So it's like, it's very hypocritical.
Right? Calling people a bitch, call you a pussy. That people say shit like that to each other all the time and get into physical altercations for it. You a hoe, da da da. Why is he pretending like this is the only word that people take offense over? What? And shall we remember how Muslims literally have blown up buildings because, let me not spoil it. Akademiks
No, exactly.
is actually going
It's a great point.
But people have attacked people for other words, sir.
No other word in the English language that elicits the same reaction that word does.
So
that's just not true, but okay.
I'm not going to defend acting violent over a word. We can't repurpose. We can't repurpose history.
Sneako's so stupid, dude. He's like that girl on TikTok that's like, there is no female name that starts with an S and ends with an E. There's not one. Like he's that type of person now by saying that the N-word is like the only word that triggers people the way it does.
Right? And that word is
But we do all the time. We do all the time. The word mean the same thing. The word dumb doesn't mean the same thing. Even the word nigga doesn't mean the same thing. Okay. Black people have used it colloquially, and now that's a perfect that actually the word you're talking about has been repurposed to be a term of endearment.
No, white people did not used to say the word nigga
as a term of endearment. Come on now.
That is a slang word that black people made up that is a derivative of the word, the hard R word. That's our word that white people desperately want to say. Black people don't go around calling each other the hard R, right? If you as a black person say the hard R casually, normal black people look at you weird as fuck. These are two completely different words. So trying to say that they're the same word and that black people, it's just not true. But even then, we understand how to work. Even if
Sneako doesn't have the black experience, so he has no idea the triggering nature of the word. You know, he doesn't understand it. You know, he just thinks that well, these people are just weak-minded, whatever. They can't take someone calling them a name or whatever. And it's like, no, it's a lot bigger than that, dude.
What he was saying was true. It doesn't matter because that's just not how language works, right? One girl can call another girl the B word, and that is very different than a man calling that same woman the B word.
Yep.
Gay people do it with the F slur, right? This is just a common thing amongst people. When a black person calls another black person the word nigga, he is not saying anything about that person's worth. He's not saying that you are an inferior person. But when a white person uses a hard R, that's exactly what they're saying. And that's all that matters.
To mean anything.
Sneako, what I'm saying is that you can't repurpose history. I said
black people, nigga has been repurposed. It was a word to mean slave, and now it means
Sneako, you're being obtuse.
No, the word nigga has never meant slave. That's just not true.
The guy is hold on. The way he's saying what he's saying is a direct callback to slavery, brother. Like if you think it's not like he's saying it meaning something else. We know what he means. So you're trying to make this point like, oh, nigga has been repurposed. Is that what he's saying? Is he like, oh, what up, my nigga? Is that what he's saying? Or is he actually saying that, hey, you're a lesser human being and I'm using this word to remind you of that? You tell me what he's saying.
I know that Sneako comes from the generation of people, Asian people, Latino people that use the N-word, whatever, casually amongst everybody, whatever. And it's not a big deal, you know? There are some people that are completely cool with black people, have nothing but black friends, and they happen to be white, and they just happen to grow up amongst black people, and they've been accepted and stuff, and they still don't say the hard R, you know? But I think Sneako's take on this is just, he's trying to lessen the whole severity of it. It's just ridiculous when you think about it. There are just certain things that you just should not ever say if you want to, you know, not lose another tooth, you know? And Sneako, he's only got so many real teeth left. Judah Morning, welcome to the stream. Silly. Yeah, this whole thing is silly, man. Absolutely. I mean, it's a silly argument. I just think that Sneako is operating from an outside perspective, you know, and he doesn't actually feel, you know, the power of that certain words have. You know, he just believes that words are powerless, and you know, it should be more about your actions than the word that you say and stuff. But when you're out there antagonizing people, calling people the N-word, trying to trigger them by saying that they're chipping out and stuff, and then, you know, still having them on video, it's like that all of this stuff working together is, yeah, you're going to trigger a response from people. And then Sneako just trying to protect Chud the Builder by telling him, is like, yeah, you just maybe need to do this a little bit more in private, you know, don't really be so out in the open about this, man. It's like something bad's going to happen, you know, I just don't want violence, whatever. It's like, motherfucker, it's like, how about he doesn't do the action that causes the violence, you know? Idiot.
He is saying that, but it only has
so why do we need to repurpose what he's saying? His hold on. His intentions are clear.
Let words control us.
It's not about words controlling us, right? So you're now talking about actions. I'm talking about the word first of all. So you're basically admitting that he's antagonizing, right, race relations by trying to bring up a time or a you know, he's trying to treat black people as subhuman by how he's speaking to them, right? And then you're saying, okay, even if he's doing that, we should just not be violent. And I hear you with that. But you got to admit to the first part.
You got to realize that there's actions that are going to cause this violence, though. And by him, you know, using just these words, whatever, yeah, he's going to cause violence, and then he's going to have to retaliate on that violence, you know, and we've already seen it play out. So it's like, Sneako's an idiot here, man.
First, we agree on the violent thing, but you could only get rage baited if you get rage baited. You could only allow this word to have that power if you agree to that frame. We should repurpose this word so that we can't be controlled by them anymore. The same reason the word Negro used to be the correct word to.
Point is, the word has the meaning it has today, and he is using that word to try and offend black people and to offend people in general, 99% of which do not get aggravated to the point where they have actually put hands on him. This is the first man after him doing this for months, if not over a year at this point, of him behaving like this. But the point is, you can't dictate how people feel when they hear certain words. You can't dictate that. Humans are emotional creatures, and some people, when they are offended, they feel like punching you in the mouth. And the reality,
and you know what? The escalation is completely there. You know, if Chud is going around just saying the hard R to people and stuff, yeah, that's going to trigger a reaction. Maybe not everybody's going to react, you know, with like maybe trying to jump him or anything like that. But when he turns around his camera, gets the person on camera just to show their reaction, and then say, look at him, he's chimping out, whatever. It's like he's escalating it, you know? So it's like he's getting everybody, he's testing everybody on the street. And some people, like I said, they don't care about this whole online thing, man. They don't, you know, like they have nothing to lose. It's going to come. I mean, it already has kind of sorted itself out, man. He shot himself, you know, shot himself in the arm. But, you know, I mean, even if it continued, if he never pulled the gun on that guy, it was going to happen again eventually, man. Like it was going to get worse somehow, some way. It's just a matter of when, man. That's all. David came back. He says, is Sneako even relevant anymore? He's fallen out with loads of his so-called friends. No, it's true. I mean, he still has the ongoing beef with Andrew Tate. He has the animosity that's been built up between him and Fresh. I would probably say him and Abba are still, like, I guess kind of indifferent, whatever. I don't know if him and Destiny still talk, whatever. But no, he's burned a lot of bridges, man. And, yeah, I mean, he's still, for some reason, friends with Myron still after all of the BS that he went through with, you know, the Tates throwing him under the bus and everybody else throwing him under the bus. As far as him staying relevant, yeah, man, I think it was a nice break, you know, that he took. going out to like Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines and stuff. But it wasn't until he got to Australia that he realized that he was banned from the country because of his character, not because of anything that he did, but just because of the stuff that he says online, whatever. The Australian government didn't want to have anything to do with him, so they banned him from the country. And I think that's kind of, I mean, it's kind of a nice ending to his whole little tour that he took. You know, he realizes that, yeah, man, he's not leaving a good, not a good footprint, you know, in terms of his online persona, if you will.
The reality is, if a black man went up to a white man and disrespected him or disrespected his wife, and that white man was caught on video punching him in the mouth after him being rude, the comment section would be filled with white people, and not just white people, people of all races applauding that man, saying that's what you deserve. Why did you go up to this man minding his own business and start disrespecting him or disrespecting his girl? Yeah, it's good that he got punched in the mouth. These are the same people that say the problem that's wrong with the world is some people have never been punched in the mouth or don't know what it's like to get an ass kicked. The only time that this becomes invalid, it's when a black man is standing up for his own honor and his own dignity. That's when it's some kind of savagery and savage behavior. But when a white man does it, oh, that's just him being a man, right? That's that bullshit.
I don't know. I think Sneako getting knocked in the head in the street, whatever, by Mr. Dr. Pepper, man. I think that kind of knocked some sense out of his head, you know? And now he's realizing that, yeah, I don't know what I believe in anymore, man. It's like, I just know I don't want violence, you know, regardless of who it is. You know, we need to protect all people. You know, protect all speech. Let people say whatever they want to say because this is a free country. But yeah, it's like, no, man. It's like, if you're like trying to stand behind this whole love speech thing, you got to realize what that all entails. You know, it's like you need to go out and start lifting people up, man, or not harassing people, not being a debt to society, you know, or anything like that. Just, I don't know, man. It's crazy. He just can't see. He can't see the problem that Chud is, you know, like he's just like, it's not somebody to be protected or to be followed or anything like that. We really shouldn't be giving Chud any attention because that's kind of what he wants at the end of the day.
Call a black person, but it became a slur because it reminds us of a time of civil rights. Now it is a slur, but at the time in the 60s and the 50s, Negro wasn't a slur.
He's not going around saying the word Negro, though. That's the point. He is not going around saying the word Negro.
Even back then, in slavery time,
Sneako.
It wasn't a slur. That was the word for black.
It doesn't matter what, even though he's wrong. He's just wrong about the history of the word, the hard R. But even if it was true, it doesn't matter. What matters is, see, words are a vehicle used to communicate a message. What is the message? What is the intent?
The context. Context is so important, you know? The fact that Chud the Builder is walking around with mace, with a gun, with a sidearm that's completely visible, it's like it is a complete bait situation. If you do not react and you do not give him what he wants, which is like a reaction of, you know, aggression and stuff like that, then he's going to say, you know, oh, look at these guys. These guys are, you know, these N-words are, you know, so. He's just going to keep pushing you until, you know, you just walk away, you know? But some people aren't walking away. Some people are just like, they just happen to be wherever they're at, and Chud walks into their space, you know? So, and, you know, as men don't want to stand down, you know? Some men that have, you know, something to lose, yeah, sure, we're gonna be like, this isn't worth it, you know? This isn't, we can understand, you know, where this guy has to, he feels like he has to do this in order to make money and stuff like that. It doesn't make it right. But there's people that are just like, dude, like, I don't know who this guy is. All I know is I want to beat his ass. You know? So it's like, you're going to have all different spectrums of people that this guy's going to come across just being, you know, completely random on the street. So yeah, unfortunately not everybody is going to take the high road and just be like, oh, well, you know, I'm not going to let these words bother me and stuff. No, some people are like, dude, you're disrespecting me. You're disrespecting my whole family and stuff like that. People aren't going to stand for that. Sonic came back. He says, Camp, you said you were part black, right? did you say the N-word? Did you say the N-word? I've said the N-word with an A before, but I think it was because, well, no, actually, no, I've definitely said the N-word, in terms of like, you know, not in conversation, but I think I've said it in like, not like arguing towards somebody, whatever. Of course, I think everybody has said the N-word, but not towards a group of black people to like antagonize them, you know? Like looking up words, of course, you know? But no, as far as like saying the N-word in terms of like, you know, trying to down somebody, whatever, like, no, not like that. Unless, Sonic, what are you referring to? Are you referring to like a video that I put out where I said the N-word? Because I'm kind of curious. Because the only video I can think about was when I was referring to Fresh when he said, let me pull it up for everybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and do that because I don't want to lead you guys astray. I'm pretty sure I said it on this video. Let me find it. I'll find it for you, Sonic, so you don't have to call me out. Just checking in with Fresh and Fit. Is this the one you're talking about?
This might be him.
Let's watch it for a second. There is a point where I do say the N-word here. Let's check it out.
All right. Let's see.
9944, you're up. 9944.
All right, 99. Go ahead.
9944.
Yo, what's up, guys? Can you guys hear me?
Yep, yes, we got you.
Awesome. Mr. Myron, these questions I got are for you, so I hope you're ready. I own a t-shirt design company, and I was wondering if I could do some t-shirt designs for your podcast for free.
Hit up Brett. Brett handles all that.
He said he's a hater.
I thought you were a hater, though.
No, I am a hater. I actually have a couple designs I wanted to run by you right now, if that was okay. The first one's going to say Fresh and Fit on the front, but on the back it says female vaginas are disgusting.
All right, bro. Send your designs to Brett, and he'll go from there. Because Brett does all that shit. So,
I got more. Can I run a few more by you?
No, ask your question, bro. The merch stuff, like that. That's Brett's lane. Hit him up.
I think he's trolling.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Oh no, hold on. I got one that's a little bit more recent. So you guys had a Drake debate recently with the girls, and Fresh, you were completely like riding for Drake, and Myron, you kind of took like a stance saying that Drake was kind of like the reason why a lot of these guys are soft.
No, I believe you.
Yeah. Do you remember that? Okay, so when the girl asked Fresh about like why are you riding for Drake so much? Like, why are you on his dick so much? Like, have you seen his dick? Have you seen his leak? And Fresh, you said you didn't. But I remember you said that Drake was a real nigger bro.
Right there. That's where I said it. And I think I said it with the hard R because I do believe he said it like that, but I was actually remembering it wrong. But this is the actual clip here that he said it. So let's check it out.
I would say there's been two big exposés of Drake. His kid, hiding his kid, that was Pusha T, right? And then just now with this shit. So he's done a pretty damn good job of hiding shit.
I'll tell you this though. Niggas say that Drake is not black. He's a nigga, bro.
See, that part right there, I was literally just paraphrasing what Fresh said. So in that time, yes, you do have me on camera saying the N-word. Sonic came back and says, no. I'm just asking if you say it because I remember you told me you were part black. So I was curious if you use it with friends or not. It wasn't to call you out. I was just asking. No. I tend to not use that. I see. The thing is, like, yeah, I look at people as individuals, not as like whole groups of people and stuff like that. So you'll never catch me like saying that because this is not part of my vernacular. You know, I do kind of see people that use that word as kind of like low IQ, I guess you could say, better, just kind of ignorant, you know? But yeah, no, I definitely don't use it with friends and stuff. No. David from the UK says, this is awesome. This clip right here. Yeah, dude, this was from a while ago, man. But yeah, I put it out. And David says, what episode was this, Camp? I want to watch it. This was a call-in show. This was probably this is a while back. It's got to be 8 months ago. Yeah, we're coming up on 8 months right now. And then Sonic came back. He says, "No, I'm asking only about the soft N word, not the A." The soft N word, not with an A. Oh, okay. No. I don't even use the soft N word either. No, it's just, I mean, there's just so many other words I can call people, man. I'm a lot more creative than that. So, like, yeah, you won't ever catch me doing that. David came back. He says, Fresh looks embarrassed, and he recognized your voice for sure. Let's watch the rest of this, man, because this ends very quickly. Okay, this ends very quickly.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, bro, in person. Bro, are you retarded? Bro, are you?
No, I'm not retarded. I'm actually bringing up a thing that you admitted
if someone
on
says
the
someone's
show.
a real nigga, doesn't mean that they saw their dick. Are you dumb?
No, you said that. I'm saying what you said. You said.
What did I say?
Drake's a real nigger, bro. Do you remember that?
Yeah, for being real in person, bro.
No.
Hold on.
We're talking about the
First
leak.
of all,
I'm talking about the
man's
leak.
dick, bro.
And you said
That is some gay shit, bro. You're a homosexual, bro. That's some gay shit. First of all. Secondly,
no, you're the one
a
who
meat
saw it. I haven't,
bro,
I
meat
haven't
watching
seen
is
Drake's
technically
leak, but you said you saw it.
Look at Myron's face right here. Myron is just trying his damnedest to just not laugh his ass off because this is completely funny. This is just hilarious. Like, Fresh is now on trial, and he's doing his best to overtalk me, and I'm not having that shit. Let me go back a little bit. You gotta just watch Myron, man. Watch Myron. He's like, he has a hand over his mouth because he's smiling right now, and he's just trying not to show any teeth right now.
That's some gay shit, bro. You're a homosexual, bro. That's some gay shit. First of all. Secondly,
no, you're the one
a meat
who
watcher.
saw it. I haven't,
Bro,
I
meat
haven't
watching
seen
is
Drake's
technically
leak, but you said you saw
the
it.
most gay shit possible because, dude, you're another man.
Fresh,
So
Fresh,
please
don't
stop
talk over me, all
Please
right?
stop it.
Don't talk over me.
What? I will talk over you all day, nigga. Bum ass nigga. Shut the fuck up. You know, get him out of here.
I absolutely love that clip for as short as it is, man. It's so fucking funny. Oh, okay. Let's go back. A little bit of a tangent, but that is like the one and only time I believe that I have on camera of me saying the N word. I probably said it maybe like one other time, whatever, but to my memory that I can remember. But yeah. Teen Toast Ghost says, Camp, you had Fresh by the balls. The thing is, man, that whole call was supposed to be for Myron, okay? But I got thrown off because he didn't want to hear any more of my jokes. And I think I've already told you guys what I was going to say in terms of like the t-shirt idea. It was going to get more and more sus. The thing I was originally supposed to say was the shirt was going to say Fresh and Fit on the front. And then on the back, it was going to say, my girl keeps me soft. My girl makes me soft. My boys keep me hard. That was going to be the original one. And then it was going to progressively get worse and worse and worse. But, and all of it was going to be quotes from Myron. And I thought it would have been great. But unfortunately, it didn't go that way. So I had to resort to the low-hanging fruit that is Fresh. And, luckily I had something in the back pocket. I always have something in the back pocket on these call-in shows, man. That's why they're not doing it anymore.
Behind the word that he's using. The intent is to offend. The intent is to insult. That's all that matters. So you arguing over semantics is irrelevant. But let's now fast forward to the point where Akademiks absolutely cooks this fucking idiot, bro, and shows him how he himself doesn't even agree with this logic when the people being offended are no longer black people, but Muslims. Let's check that out. So what Akademiks is masterfully about to do here is show Sneako how ridiculous it is to try and police what people are.
David came back. He says, Fresh knew it was coming, so he got you out of there. Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing you can do, man. Cut the mic. Learn from your mistakes. Don't let me run, Because, I mean, the time that I did talk the first time, yeah, he didn't really have a backbone, but he had all this false bravado, from all this contributing to the podcast, built up that he's just like, no, I can take back control of this podcast. Kick him off. Cut his mic right now, man. Get him out of here. He's making me look bad.
Are offended by what people find offensive, and he's going to use Muslims as an example. He's going to show how there are many situations where somebody may say something to a Muslim about the Prophet Muhammad, about Allah, about whatever the fuck, and they might.
Dude, I'm reading these comments, man. Retard maxing. It's so good. Oh man, this is just like Sneako, sneaky white supremacy. Sneako is intellectually inconsistent. Oh man. Yeah, this is, I mean, cancel Sneako. Yeah, people are calling for his cancellation again.
Take offense to that. Does Sneako believe that they just shouldn't be offended because they're just words, and words only have meaning if you give them meaning, right? Let's see if he stays consistent.
He's about to eat his whole words right here.
With that logic here. Let's go.
What does this have to do with using it?
The point what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to black people finding offense of things that they feel is offensive, you're like, well, why don't y'all just stop being offended by the word? However, if I then showcase a situation where another group of people, where someone tries to disrespect them, you can't repurpose the disrespect. You want black people to repurpose the disrespect.
Great. There's a great analogy here. Do you see how you're equating this individual word that doesn't have real meaning unless you to the holy?
Every word has meaning, brother.
The word of God compared to the word.
If the word has no meaning, if the word has no meaning,
you are equating the word of God to a slur that is outdated.
Okay, yours. All right, you said that the words don't have
What
meaning.
matters if it's outdated or if it just brand new came back? I mean, doesn't everything come back in style, whatever, like in terms of language, style, and clothing and all that stuff, music and everything, culturally, everything comes back in style. Okay, and there's people that are keeping certain things alive. It doesn't matter the timeline of how outdated a term is, whatever. It can still be offensive, and it can still harken back to certain feelings and emotions from people that have descendants, whatever, that had to go through that stuff. That's part of their history. And it's completely just like smooth brain of Sneako to say that, oh, you should just not be offended by it. It's just a word. It shouldn't have any, you shouldn't give it any power. It's such a smooth brain take from Sneako here.
That's the whole point. You cannot have those two
if you claim words have no meaning,
it's not equivalent to this individual word.
Okay, if you say word has no meaning, say no.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
Look at him! He froze! See, if words have no meaning, right? Say fuck.
Checkmate, man. He's got nothing on this one.
You know, I actually care about, you know what I'm saying, why unnecessarily offend people, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead, say that, Sneako, since words have no meaning, and you're an advocate for free speech, and you believe that this is an exercise to teach people to control themselves, go and
you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of when Myron said that Muslims praying in Times Square was wrong, that they should pray in the mosque and they shouldn't be out in the open like that. And Sneako had a problem with that. He had an issue with that. He's like, these guys are just praying. They're not bothering anybody. And Myron, you know, who is a Muslim, whatever, he was saying, he's like, no, they should be in a mosque doing this, whatever. They shouldn't be out in the open like this. They shouldn't be blocking traffic and all this other stuff. And yeah, it was just like, it was a weird back and forth that they were having, but it just kind of reminds me of this, that yeah, Sneako really has no good argument for why he believes that there's a difference between the two. It's like, no, you're offending people with language. That's just the core of what it is.
Show us how much self-control Muslims have. How about you do that?
The word has no meaning. Say no. Oh,
is that what you're saying?
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you to say it because it should have no meaning, right? There's a fucking meaning to it, right? Clearly, like you wouldn't say that, right?
Look at him struggling. Look at him struggling.
And you know what? He probably shouldn't. He probably, if he really is like a diehard Muslim, whatever, after this conversation, this should have been like the final conversation he ever had with Akademiks for him to even throw that out as a hypothetical, you know, to say that to him, you know, because he's just like, well, you know, it's like the word, it basically is like, I can't associate with you now. But he's going to. Let's be real. He's still going to.
Think. You remember when Jimmy Neutron used to do think? That's what he's doing right here.
Because there's
look at him.
intended meaning. If you're saying
the point that you're making, how are you equating
words have meaning, brother?
How are you equating God, disrespecting God, the Almighty, something that we have faith in, to something that only has meaning if we attribute meaning to it? God has meaning without us.
So
this hard R word.
You can't disrespect God, but you can disrespect a whole group of people.
That you give to it,
brother. You're saying so. What?
Sneako
makes no damn sense at all, dude.
Want to say F? It ain't got nothing to do with offending God. It has everything to do with offending Muslims. That's who he's scared of. He's scared of the people.
Yeah, because those people are about taking action, man, against you if you want to say something bad about their prophet. So, it's like, dude, people are going to take action against you if you call them the N-word, man.
That when he first got Sneako's first meaningful interaction with Muslims was him mocking Muslims, and they got onto his ass.
Dude, who could ever forget that, dude? He was doing a desktop stream. He's doing it from the safety of his room. But yeah, doing that little like prayer thing, you know, like mocking the whole thing. And then, yeah, dude, he got like this crazy backlash.
They fucking...
He apologized like within the same 24 to 48 hours, man, because he was scared for his life.
Doxed him. He was fucking scared of these niggas, bro. Sweating bullets.
I remember that, dude. I remember that like it was yesterday.
So scared of them, he became one of them to just stop them from fucking getting on his ass.
Can't beat him, join him.
All because of words he said. Him just mocking him, right? Let's not forget how in the word of God literally says not to be allies with people who mock your religion of Islam. So apparently God thinks that words have meaning. Right, and thinks that you should place significance on what words come out of the mouths of other people. But on top of that, these are the same people that have blown up buildings because somebody drew a picture of the Prophet Muhammad, which is just another version of freedom of speech. Why is it that you get so your peoples get so offended by a little picture, right? Of a person who no one even really knows what the guy looks like, apparently. And so what is this? What is this hypocrisy we're seeing here?
You just told me you can't disrespect God. Okay, get it, and I agree. But you can disrespect an entire group of people, and your solution to that is that the entire group of people should just not be offended.
Yeah, that's basically just saying Muslims don't get offended when we say FLA. Just don't get offended. It's just words, and it's not just words.
Both. Whether you say the hard ER or you say...
This is the creator of the universe versus outdated slur.
So let me ask you something. Shouldn't God have more self-control than flawed human beings? Why is it that God is so easily offended and he's supposed to be the creator of the universe? And I'm
reading these comments, man. It's like, get off stream, Sneako. You're getting cooked. It's true, man. It's so true. And you know what? The longer he stays on, the dumber he looks, man.
All-knowing and infinitely wise. Why is it that he has less emotional control and less self-control than people? Why are you holding him to a lower standard than flawed, sinful, corrupted human beings?
You cannot equate the two acts.
Outdated slur to who?
Those in the same category.
Outdated slur to who? To you.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
It's outdated.
Yeah, we can't talk about how things should be. We have to only talk about how things are, okay? People are using the N-word like it was yesterday, okay? Like there's no like, oh, it's been 400 years or whatever. Like, no. That word is still alive and well, and it's being used every day in the way that it was used back then. So I mean, isn't there like a whole racist town in America, whatever, the most racist town in America that's like all like white populated or whatever? Like, I'm pretty sure that is alive and well in that town too. So like, it doesn't matter the age of the word and how old it is, whatever. We're not talking about Old English here. We're not talking about anything like that. We're talking about the derogatory nature of it and how it is perpetuating itself through the generations of people through time. And yeah, dude, it's like, you got nothing, man. You got nothing. And now him bringing up that perfect example of just saying F to your prophet. Yeah. Like, what do you got for that? You know, are you going to get mad? Are you going to get offended or whatever? Because I thought these were just words, you know? Sneako is the new fresh. David, you got the nail on the head, man. Absolutely. he's filling Fresh's shoes because Fresh is out here just he's got no time to be talking online like this, man, doing debates. He's not a debater. He's already said that.
To you, clearly, if you look socially, the majority of people,
the only words,
even outside of black,
the only words that are antiquated are words that people don't use anymore. If people are still using the word, then it is not outdated. It is not antiquated. And if it is still being used with the original definition,
that's literally what I just said, man. It's still being used in the exact same way that it was used when it first debuted. So this whole, like, you can't put an expiration date on a slur. Okay, these things are going to stand the test of time.
That it became popular for, which it is still being used in that way, then it is not an outdated word. It is not an antiquated word. Everybody knows exactly what you mean when you use that word. He got cooked here.
Community realize that word still holds some meaning. So in your maybe skewed Chud the Builder fanboy mind,
it only holds the meaning that we still attribute to it because slavery is over. The same way, we'll go back full circle.
The word was used long after slavery. What is he talking about?
Yeah.
The word was still being used as recently, like on television, as recently as the 1960s. What are we talking about? In the 1970s even, you could find white people using that word on television. So him trying to pretend like...
Yeah, him trying to basically lessen it to this degree of that, hey, black people just need to stop being so offended, whatever, and, you know, just not get triggered by these words and stuff. It's like, bro, you have no idea about the whole black experience because you're just this mixed breed, whatever, you know, and you don't have it, you're completely on the outside of it. So, like, should anybody be listening to Sneako in terms of, like, what he thinks about this stuff? No. But is he going to say some stuff to ruffle some feathers to get some engagement? Absolutely. So you have to kind of understand the whole angle of it, the big picture, not the little picture. The big picture is that, yes, he's trying to farm engagement off of this. And if you have to go the other way to farm engagement, people are willing to do that.
The word hasn't been used since slavery. The word means what it means. So anyway, I just wanted to explore this and give Akademiks his flowers.
What a frame to pause on Ak here. This is like a little possessed right here. His eyes are doing something weird. But yeah, I mean, Sneako got absolutely cooked here. And, you know, a rare Akademiks W. You know, I'm glad he was able to give it to him. Because, I mean, the thing is, if you're a nobody talking to Sneako, trying to talk some sense to him, he's not going to listen. But if you're somebody like that's within his circle and you completely cook his ass, it's like, yeah, that's good because at least he's going to give you the time and the platform for everybody to see it. So good on DJ Akademiks for getting in there and shutting him up, you know, with another hypothetical. So that was good. Now we are now to the final one. This is going to be Myron Gaines. He's experiencing a lot of backlash for this rant that he had about Chud the Builder. So this video is by Poetik Flakko. Let's check it out.
Myron is getting some heavy backlash right now for seemingly defending and sticking up for Chud. Myron said a lot that pissed off a lot of people. Now, one of the things that Myron said that really had people upset and pissed was when Myron centered the feelings of white racists in a conversation about black people being victimized.
Chud the Builder is saying and doing what a lot of people in America wish they can do. That's tough. I get it. Some of you like to hear that. Some of you guys are mad about that. But there's a reason why he's had a meteoric rise over the past year. People are tired of
Myron, man. You know, the thing is, like, he says it all the time on his show. He says the N-word all the time on his show with black women, never with black men in the room, you know, like, never. I'm not talking about his crew because his crew is just a bunch of islanders, whatever, that have no ties to, like, black America, whatever. So, yeah, Myron, he just feels so comfortable in his studio, but it's like if he were to go outside with this same type of energy, he would never do it. He's not that dumb.
Do I gotta be the one? We're tired of you, chimpanzee, orangutan, ape. We're tired of y'all, man. No one wants to live around y'all. No one wants to go to Atlanta. No one wants to get on Spirit Airlines. No one wants to get on any budget airline and deal with you. Everybody wants to go into a station where they say we accept EBTS.
I mean, we're not getting, nobody's getting on Spirit Airlines anymore anyway, so that's besides the point. But yeah, Myron, he's going to feel safe saying all this stuff from the safety of his studio. He also has a gun as well. So he's kind of in the same camp as like Chud the Builder in terms of like antagonizing people because he is so quick to grab the strap.
Snap. Nobody wants to date black women because they're fat and loud. The average black woman's 187 pounds. Like, do I got to out for you, dumbass? You can't read ABC, 1, 2, 3. Nobody wants to be around you monkeys. Sorry. And honestly, if you get offended too bad, you're probably the
This is a conversation.
David came back. He says he's a coward with men, and we've seen it with that Asian doll episode. Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, when the guys, the entourage that Asian doll was with, whatever, they were telling her, like, no, she doesn't have to go. And he's like, no, seriously, you got to get out of here, whatever. And I think the fact that he left to go, he said he left to go get some water or whatever. Like I think he left and he went to go get his gun. He's not telling us the whole story. But then, yeah, they cut out after that because they didn't want any. They want to be like in his house, whatever, while he's going to get a gun, whatever. But yeah, I mean, he'll never act like that towards any guest, whatever. If it's a man, if it's a woman, yeah, he has no problem with it because we all know Myron doesn't like women.
About a racist white man going up to random black people in public, calling them the N-word unprovoked for no reason whatsoever outside of he wanted to hurt black people. In a conversation about somebody looking to hurt black people, we're not discussing how black people feel about this, how traumatic this could be towards black people, how traumatic the experience was for that woman and her little kids in the grocery store when Chud was calling them chimps. We don't discuss the feelings of black people and how we feel, but the conversation quickly pivot to how black people should make cultural concessions and placate to racist white people in hopes to soothe out their resentment against us so they don't call us the N-word in public. And I'm saying that's out of line. These people...
David came back. He said he pulled out his gun when an ex-employee turned up. Yeah, no, I remember that. What's his face? Oh, God, I can't think of his name right now. It starts with an A. He was the guy that basically was getting all the girls coming on the show, and then he ended up getting fired or whatever. But now he's back working for them, so they squashed their beef and stuff. But that was a very public dispute that they had, and he was just like, "Don't come in the doorway or whatever. I got my gun, whatever. I'll shoot you." Da, da, da. So yeah, David's like, "I'm convinced he's gay." No, absolutely. I mean, dude, he was exposed on the whole documentary, whatever, that, you know, his relationship with Angie was not a real relationship, dude. It was all arranged, man. And he's a complete phony. And the fact that he has no woman now to kind of act as his like shield for the whole gay rumors thing is like, dude, he's cooked too.
People didn't just start hating us and calling us the N-word in 2026. They was calling us the N-word in the 40s, homie, when our family structure was intact. When our marriage rates was close to 70%. What was the excuse then? When did racist people need a reason to hate black people? They've never had a reason to. They've done it regardless. Now, again, I'm disagreeing respectfully.
A lot of it is kind of insulating, you know, in their own communities, you know, away from black communities and stuff. And there's people that grow up in the country that have no ties to black people at all. They completely grow up in their small little towns, whatever. They probably go all the way to college and never seen a black person before, you know, and they've just been told by their parents, whatever they download, you know, onto them that, hey, you know, this is how things were back then. You know, things are different now. You know, you have to kind of, you can still have this hatred towards them, but you got to make sure that you don't say nothing about it. You know, just kind of keep it quiet. Real racism is quiet. I think Bill Burr said that. He's like, you know, it's not out in the open, or it shouldn't be out in the open. You know, if you want to keep your job and keep your career and stuff, you want to kind of be a little bit more low key about it. But yeah, I think there's a lot of, there's a big population of people that probably, you know, they go online on an anonymous account and they just say whatever they want, and then they get to keep their job and keep everything quiet. That's the new age racist, man. They're going to keep it quiet. Dave came back. He says, for a high value man not to have box is very suspicious. Well, I mean, no box by choice. Okay. I mean, it's a little.
This nigga's a homosexual.
We know. Okay. We know it because all signs point to, yes, he's got to be. We've only seen him happy when he's in the arms of Eric, okay, and all those pictures and stuff. It's the only time we've ever seen Myron truly smile. We've never seen him smile with a woman. He's always kind of just. It's all been very performative, you know. And yeah, it's like he has a heterosexual spiel that lasts for about 2.5 minutes, and it's all just talking about how, you know, people think he's gay because he was hanging out with Eric and they were being boys and stuff. And it's just like, come on, man. It's like, we've heard this before, man. It's like, just get a new way to say it. Get a new way to prove it to us, you know? But the thing is, man, it's like, we don't care, you know. It's like, it's one of those things that we all know and we don't care, you know. It just, the harder you try, the harder, you know, you're gonna have a time convincing us, man. You know, because I mean, a lot of us have kind of just like we don't care anymore. We don't care that you're gay. It's like, if you just come out, it would be a good deal for you, you know, because then at least you can finally breathe now, you know. But that's fine, man. I mean, let him just go on this downward spiral and keep on hating women. And dude, he's ending shows now. He's ending shows early. Like, there was a clip that I saw on Reddit where he kicked out the whole panel because I think Clavicular was on there and he had to basically go do like some club promotion thing. And Fresh, I guess, forgot to tell Myron that he was going to go with him and do like a live stream, whatever, at the club with Clavicular. And so Myron just ended this. He was just like, okay. He's like, because I guess they were getting ready to go read chats, whatever. They had like girls and stuff in the studio and everything too. And he's like, yeah. He's like, let's end it, man. He's like, you don't want to read? And Fresh is like, you don't want to read chats? He's like, no, fuck it, man. I'll just read it on my own stream, whatever. He's like, let's just kick everybody out, whatever. Let's just go. And it was just like, it was so obvious that he's so done like talking to women. He gets so frustrated, and yeah, he's kicking girls out like left and right, like in terms of like whole panels, because he just doesn't want to deal with them. The most recent show I think he had with Anthony Sartain? I don't know if is that his name. I'm thinking Anthony Bourdain, but I think it's Michael Sartain and Rollo Tomasi. They had girls on the show too, and he kicked all the girls out just to keep the guys, you know. Like, he's just like, I don't want to talk to women anymore, man. He's like, I'm over this. It's like, I want to bring the IQ in the room up and stuff. And I think we understand that Myron would rather be around a bunch of guys than a bunch of girls, man. That's just what he is. That's what I mean. He can't help but be what he is. I think I know that there's a clip of him saying, I can't hide it anymore. He said that, and I was like, what does that mean, Myron? You know? I mean, the title of his next book was Why Women Deserve Even Less. I think it should have been Why Women Deserve Even Less Dick from Myron Gaines. I think that would have been good, but you know, that might actually be my parody book that I make. I don't know. We'll see.
Hopefully me and Myron can have this conversation in person or over the internet. But yo, like, was black folks too rowdy in the 40s where they told us we couldn't sit, you know, in the front of the bus? Was our culture too rowdy when they told us we couldn't go to the same schools as them? Was our culture just too violent when they told us we couldn't drink at the same water fountain as them? When did they ever need a reason to dislike us or hate us? As far as I know, bruh, like Chud, Nick Fuentes, and the other racists using the actions of very few black people, the overwhelming minority of black people, to discriminate against the entire group, right? That's not a good enough reason. I can understand if Myron was covering a story where black people were the antagonists and he was telling black people, hey, stop picking them. But he's covering a story where a guy walked up to random black people minding their business and called them the N-word with the hard R. So in this situation, in that scenario, how could have those people behaved better, right? For Chud not to call them the N-word. What, like should they have not came outside that day? Should they have, I don't know, seen Chud walking towards them and walked in traffic to avoid Chud? Like, what could those innocent black people have done for Chud not to call them the N-word with the hard R?
Because I'll tell you this, the black people that are intelligent aren't going to be offended by what I'm saying. They know what I'm saying is true. There's a reason why dark Dominicans sit there and say, I don't know black, Bobby. There's a reason why dark Puerto Ricans know that too. I know black, Bobby. There's a reason why
Why did he play the Spanish music for the Puerto Ricans, dude? That's funny. Oh man, I guess everybody's Mexican to Myron. That's not black or white. That's funny. Oh man.
Hey, I know black. You guys have a bad reputation. You guys have bad stereotypes that follow you. And unfortunately, a lot of you adhere to the stereotypes. Whether it's Waka Flakko tripping out over Jake Paul agreeing that there's a problem or he wants to be able to do blackface because Drewski can openly do white face.
The next thing that people were really pissed off at Myron for don't have much to do with what he said per se, but what he platformed. Now, he brought on this defense attorney to tell us how innocent Chud is and how Chud can beat us, which is fine. He's an attorney. He's a lawyer. That's his right. But he starts off the conversation with black folks' name in his mouth. Now,
David came back and says, this is the beginning of the end of Myron. I mean, dude, he's been torpedoing his own career for like the longest time. Like this whole last 2-3 years or whatever has just been him making a slow exit from Fresh and Fit and completely like getting some type of negative, I guess, I don't know, like support system around him, whatever, you know, like he's trying to garner the sympathy of the white supremacists. Like, look, I am a tool for you guys to use. Like, please, like, let me be the voice of you guys, you know, like I know I don't look like you guys, but I can totally play the part and I can totally get a bunch of people to, you know, buy into your rhetoric, whatever. I'll totally be that person to do it. I think he doesn't really have any, he doesn't have a family. He doesn't have any like real thing that's tying him down. You know, he's just like, look, I'm going to go balls to the wall, man. I can't do anything. What do we say? Okay, T and Tosa Ghost came back. He says, hey, chat, can we drop Camp some likes? The stream's it's on fire. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, you guys definitely like the stream. For anybody that's new here, I know we had a couple people that came in, whatever, that weren't part of our community. Please, you know, if you want to subscribe and see more of this content, dude, we try to come back every week and do a stream. The last couple streams, man, have been kind of crazy in terms of like internet connection, you know, but I think I finally got things fixed, man. So I think we're going to be back up and running like normal. So that's exciting. We're going to continue talking about, you know, all the different controversies that are going on, keep you guys all up to date with what's going on. And yeah, I appreciate everybody that supports and everybody that has subscribed to me over the last couple of days, man. I appreciate every last one of you. And we're going to keep going, man. We're just going to keep going on this train of just exposing all of these frauds and fakers and people that aren't really meant to be like, yeah, they're just burning down their whole career, man. And dude, I mean, I love watching train wrecks, man. I love it.
By trying to make this comparison between bonds that black dudes get and Chud's bond, as if like black people get some type of preferential treatment from the justice system and Chud got it tough. If you're starting off an argument for Chud by making a premise that black people are treated fairly or even privileged by the justice system, you're out of your mind. And that's just,
yeah, you're completely out of touch, you know, like just completely disregarding all of the history of like police brutality, you know, and just everything that's happened over the last like 10-15 years, man. Like Myron is completely on the other side of it, you know, he's on the law enforcement side of it. So he's not going to have that type of like compassion, you know, or even I guess the know-how to research the other side, you know, and like to actually see what people go through. It's just, I don't know, man. I think I do know that he is trying to be like the voice of like this whole white supremacy thing, whatever, and he wants to be like one of the allies, I guess you can say, you know. David came back. He says he was talking about doing a collaboration with Chud, for fuck's sake. I mean, I actually saw a clip of Chud saying, you know, before he got, you know, locked up and stuff, that he actually likes Myron. And I think he would actually, you know, do a collaboration with him. I didn't see anything that what Myron had said in terms of like having him on the show and stuff, but I did see a clip of him saying that he did like Myron and whatever. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense that Chud would like Myron in terms of his rhetoric and stuff. I mean, he really panders to him, so I'm sure he likes that very much.
Data and evidence to prove that black people are not given privileges by the justice system, that black people are unfairly persecuted disproportionately.
So he got a $1.25 million bail. I know he has a GoFundMe. I think he has enough to probably post the bail because I think he's got to post 10% or whatever.
I doubt it.
Well, sorry.
No, it's going to be it'll be more than so a normal bail. You're right, it's 10%. But when the exposure for the bail bondsman is this high, they want 10% as their fee. Yeah, and then they want collateral for the rest.
Gotcha.
So
put up a house.
They
or something.
won't take your house, but they'll ask you to put up your house. Right?
Gotcha. So okay, so we
By
went.
the way, this is not an insane. I mean, it's a very high bond. I've seen it before in murder cases, attempted murder cases. I know one of the gripe that's in the community is that they see black suspects commit worse crimes, not attempted murder, but literally murder, literally assassination, and get like a $200,000 bail. That's one of the legitimate grievances I talked about at the start of our show today. This is a real concern. This should not be happening.
This conversation is rooted in racism. It's just this.
And there's no remorse. There's no remorse on Chud the Builder's side about this whole thing. You know, you would think that, you know, he would want to come forward with a statement that like, yo, this isn't really how I truly feel. You know, like this is all an act, man. I'm just trying to make money by any means necessary. And I'm going to say whatever it takes. Okay. It's not about how I truly feel. I actually have a history with a black woman who used to peg me back in the day. And yeah, that sounds a little sus, but hey, you know, like we all have our kinks and stuff. Don't shame me, whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure that's going to be something like, I mean, he'll never admit to that, but that's something that if you guys don't know, I'll probably find some way to expose it somehow, some way. I do know that video was on Reddit, the woman coming forward talking about how she used to peg Chud back in the day, you know? But he truly doesn't really like truly hate black people, you know? Or maybe he does because they helped him lose his business, whatever, because they all, you know, banded together or whatever to get him blackballed and stuff. So then he couldn't get a job and stuff. So then he had to figure out, he had to take out his aggression on black people and stuff. So, I mean, look, whatever you believe, okay? It's not all for a good cause. You know, this is a man that has nothing to lose. So yeah, he's going to go balls to the wall and he's going to ride it till the wheels come off.
It's the comfortability of being a part of the oppressor class that when you see somebody who look like yourself being treated fairly or the same as the oppressed, you get uncomfortable because no, that's not supposed to happen. He's white. What he meant to say is he's white. What business they have treating him like how they treat black people? Because black people bills and bonds on average are $14,000 higher than white defendants for the same charges. Black felons, right, are 25% more likely to be held during pretrial than white defendants for the same crimes. So black people under no circumstances are receiving privileges by the justice system. That's just a lie, right? Like you know, even the most bold racists don't got the audacity and the courage to say something like that out loud because it's just not true. It's false. But they're presenting this argument to somehow make Chud like the victim. I think I even heard Myron say that Chud being arrested is like a political arrest, right? That Chud being arrested is them trying to send a message.
Only Myron would say something like that because he's just like, look, they're making an example of him, so they're going to take away more rights, whatever. Like, this guy is just exercising his free speech, and they're going to make an example, so now all of us are going to be quiet. It's like, Myron, no. Like, he is going out, he's antagonizing people. He shot a guy, okay? Are we going to completely forget about that? You know, that he's using it as self-defense, whatever, and Myron's gonna be like, it was self-defense. I'm like, no, Myron, no, dude, this whole self-defense wouldn't have happened if he hadn't have welcomed it with his aggression.
Chud got arrested because he committed a crime. Simple as that.
You have a controversial streamer that's known for calling black people.
Myron, okay, I want you guys just to look at this and just picture Myron as like Chud the Builder's defense lawyer, okay? Let's just see how horrible of a job he does in terms of presenting facts and trying to get you guys to be on his side. You're up, Myron.
Okay. He just recently got arrested for not paying a tab. He got interviewed by the FBI. Right, as you guys know, the FBI had some questions for him about the Goyim Defense League and asking him questions about handsome truth and whatever. Took his devices, whatever. But the bottom line is this. The district attorney's office there.
We're just going to skip over the fact that he walked out on a $400 tab because he was filming in the restaurant, which is private property, whatever. So they were kicking him out. So he felt like he didn't need to pay because they were kicking him out because he was filming in the restaurant and it was private property. Are we going to completely just gloss over that? I guess we are. Continue, Myron.
And the county sheriff's office doesn't want to deal with the backlash if they don't make an arrest based on who this guy is. So you guys best believe, I hate to say this, it is a politically charged arrest. There's an enormous amount of pressure on them to arrest him and then push it to a grand jury.
What do you mean pressure? It's like he's rightfully arrested. Okay, it's not like, oh, they're gonna think that we're gonna be lenient with this guy, whatever, and just kind of give him a little fine or whatever. Like, no, dude, we're gonna hold him to the fullest extent of the law and stuff. I mean, the fact that he brandished a firearm and used it against a guy with unequal force, a veteran, no less, it makes it look like, yeah, it was, I mean, immediately people look at it as like a hate crime, because he has this history, of content, basically race baiting black people. So it's like, I don't know how you can defend this guy, but Myron is going to do his damnedest to try.
Because everyone wants to be able to say, we tried. And you guys also need to understand, probable cause is not a high standard. Probable cause when it comes to the state and the county is very low. Okay, we're not talking about a federal case here. We're talking about a state case. And we're talking about a state case with an individual, right, that's nationally known, is provocative, and he's provocative on one of the most divisive topics in America, which is race relations. So I'll be honest.
Race relations, race baiting. Why are we calling it race relations? You're making him sound like a civil rights activist, whatever. Like, that's not it at all, man. Like, this guy, basically the way he just phrased it, he's like, this guy is internationally known. He's infamous. Okay, people know him for bad shit, not for good shit. He hasn't helped anybody. If anything, he's just siphoned the funds from his supporters and people that are also like him. Okay. And he hasn't really contributed to society in any meaningful way other than just causing problems for people.
Yeah. I kind of knew he was going to get arrested from the rip. I was like, ain't no way they're not going to arrest him.
You're going to have a hard time convincing anybody that police officers in Montgomery County in Tennessee wanted to do black folks a favor. That's like a non-starter for most people. Like, that's not even a possibility. Now, what did happen is, I think the police officers, they watched the footage and they see somebody who was
just a treasure trove of footage. I mean, you can pick any clip. None of them make Chud the Builder look good. None of them.
Essentially premeditated this. Somebody who strategically antagonized a conflict, antagonized a situation, after saying on social media that the grand finale and his goal was to kill a black person and leave him dead on the pavement and get away with it. Somebody strategically created an environment to shoot and kill somebody, right? But his aim was just bad, and he hit them but didn't kill him. So, and the video showed that. The video showed, man, Chud was already ready to kill somebody, right? At the very conception of this, like, disagreement or this argument.
And he was probably stressed out about the whole $3,000 that he's being taken to court over the credit card debt and stuff. He's like, this is a lot of money, man. I'm really stressed out. I'm a boiling pot of hot water, all right? If anybody steps to me, man, I'm just going to shoot him outright.
One set initial bond at $1.25 million.
So we just got a hold of an arrest warrant for Dalton Etherly that reveals new details, including the name of the man that he got into an altercation with and is alleged to have shot, that he's facing this very serious charge of attempted murder. That other man has been identified by Montgomery County officials as Joshua Fox. We also got a narrative here within the affidavit. They gave a lot more details into what happened outside of that Montgomery County courthouse on Wednesday. Officers noted that they watched surveillance video, and in that video, they saw that this started out as a verbal fight, that Etherly turned toward Fox and then reached for his firearm, and then a physical fight ensued. Etherly, according to this affidavit, then shot Fox multiple times. Fox was then airlifted over to Vanderbilt Hospital where he underwent emergency surgery. Now,
obviously, y'all already know this because I told y'all.
I mean, it's an open and shut case. I mean, they got everything they need. They got the audio and the video, man. It's just like from start to finish. You know, it's like all you got to do is show the jury the 3-minute video, and it's like everybody's going to be on the same side of it, man.
What was on the video, right? Because again, I got eyewitnesses who was there, who watched everything and told me, right? As well as footage, right? So y'all already know this, but this is new information to people who don't watch this channel. Chud told the police officers, you know, and in the audio, that he was walking away.
Yeah, it's a completely different story, and that was what was on the pump.fun stream that he was streaming on. It was just the audio. It was this big orange screen or whatever, and it was just him saying that, yeah, I was just walking down the street and these guys were laughing at me, so I walked over to them and I said, hey, do you like my suit? And they told me to walk away, so I started to walk away, and then that's when it happened, whatever. That's when they wanted to punch me, whatever. So I thought I had to defend myself by shooting him. So, I mean, that is what is on the audio. And it's just, that's not exactly how it played out.
He walked up to them, said, hey, how's your day going? They told him off. He was walking away. And then Joshua Fox told him, hey, don't be doing all that chimping stuff. I got PTSD. And then he didn't say nothing back. He just kept walking. And Joshua Fox ran over to him and beat him up. That was Chud's statement to the police officers. I told you from day one that was a lie because I already seen the footage and I got people who was there who witnessed everything from their window. What took place, as you guys just heard in more context, Chud seen 2 black guys minding their business. He walked up to the black guys minding their business.
He's like, one last one for the road, man. I'm going into court right now on this credit card thing. One last one for the stream, man.
Start hurling slurs at them. They told Chud, hey, man, I got PTSD. Don't be doing that. Chud turned and then turned around and said, or what? Or what? Pulled out his gun. Pointed his gun at Joshua Fox. That's where self-defense goes out the window.
Yep. There was no punch that was hurled at you first. You had already pointed your gun at them. You were the threat. There was no threat being harmed at you.
Pull out your gun. Well, now you're brandishing, right? So far, Joshua Fox has not hit you. Now you are when you pull out your gun, after calling someone now you're brandishing, right? You can't claim self-defense. You already assaulted him. You are brandishing at him. Now Joshua Fox.
So the whole statement that he has, talking to the cops and stuff, has to be completely thrown out, man. It's not what actually happened. So, I mean, he's lost all credibility, man. And I mean, I think anybody that's on the outside looking in on this, man, it's gonna be an open and shut case, man. It's too easy.
Hitting you after you pull out your gun, he felt like his life was in danger. He got a self-defense case. So that's why everybody talking about, no, it's not self-defense at all. He antagonized the conflict, walked over to him, pulled out his gun and brandished it, and this man who felt like his freaking life was at risk did what he had to do. He hit Chud and then reached for the gun.
But it does happen.
The only thing even those people that weren't there, that didn't even see the video, what do we have? We have a body of evidence of past videos of him pattern behavior, doing this to random people that it didn't go all the way in terms of like a gunfight or whatever. And so you see this and you see how it eventually will escalate into an actual, gunfight. So, I mean, not even a gunfight, just one guy having a gun, but it's just, that's what I'm saying. It's like, we all knew this was an eventuality because of the pattern behavior. It's just going to matter of time. You're going to cross one person they're going to fear for their life, and that adrenaline's going to hit them, and they're going to want to, take you out before you take them. They'll probably get your gun off of you and probably take you out with your gun.
I mean, George Zimmerman had a multi-million-dollar bond. Kyle Rittenhouse had a multi-million-dollar bond. And is it because they're white guys? Yeah, maybe because it's a politically charged event. In Zimmerman's case, a racially charged event. Yeah. Is that right? No, it's not right. But they're allowed to do this. I mean, frankly, I would expect, I think, maybe. So this is a two-stage process right now for Chud. So right now what he's got is bond. There's bond and there's bail. So bail is often a kind of technical process where like reports are filed. Like
I love when people expose themselves. This dude is a professional and he's filled with microaggressions. Employ him at your own risk if you're black. Employ this racist at your own risk if you're black, okay? Employ him. Chud was out on multiple active bonds. He was in the middle of multiple active cases. And, he caught an attempted murder charge. What do you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? Somebody who came on social media and said he planned on doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You think the judge was going to deem Chud not a flight risk, not a danger to society? Man, all right, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section. What do you guys think about this, man? I don't like it. I'm going to contact Myron.
I love that the person who called him out on X, when he said that, there's going to be a dead chimp in the street, whatever, and you monkeys are going to be mad because I'm going to be walking free, whatever. And then the guy's like, this kind of sounds like premeditation. And then Chud responds back that premeditated self-defense because all these people have been coming at me in the last couple of weeks, whatever, for all of this behavior that I've been doing, So it's just, I don't know. It's funny how there's no accountability for all of his actions and, everything that he's having to suffer through right now. He's still believing that these people, man, they just can't stop messing with me, man. And I got to do the best I can to freaking stand up to him. It's kind of crazy, man.
And try to see, man, if we could set this up for you guys, man. Because I do feel like I could change his mind.
Myron?
I could change his mind, man.
No, you're not changing Myron's. Myron doesn't care, man. Myron is he's going to be playing this type of act of trying to defend the indefensible and trying to see like the good in everybody, because he tries to see the good in every man. Okay, but women is a completely different story. He can see the bad in every woman.
So I don't feel like I just don't feel like these arguments can really withstand an interrogation by me. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? Y'all think Chud is being treated unfairly? Let me know, okay? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here to find out.
Shout out to Poetik Flakko, man. I thought this was a good breakdown. I mean, he actually has been following Chud for a while. He's got plenty of videos on him. I think the time that we came on the scene and we started watching the video, I think he was already on his third video. That was our first video watching. So that was, he has pretty good coverage in terms of like staying up to date and stuff. The only thing I can tell you, man, is that, yeah, you play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes, man. And I'm so like thrilled that he got his comeuppance when it did. It happened a lot sooner than I thought it would. But it just goes to show you, not every content strategy is viable. And, if you're going to do this IRL streaming and you get locked into this type of content, tread lightly, man, because your time on this platform, your time even on this earth will be limited. So the only thing I can tell you is try to find a more creative way to give back to the world. And if it's by providing entertainment, provide entertainment and try to make people laugh. And try not to do it in a way to where like you're stealing, you're offending people, or you're hurting people. If you can do entertain people without having to do any of that, you'll be okay. You can keep your Kick platform, and maybe people will still donate to you on your Give Send Go campaign. That's crazy that it got to 200K. I gotta look at this. Give Send Go, Chud the Builder. Let's see where it's at right now. $250,000. Look at that. Insane. $250,000. Good luck. Got fired over words/jokes on Twitter too. Thank you, Dalton, for standing up for all of us and for fiercely standing up to a bully in the room. Look at what you've built, man. You've made our country a better place. You are in my prayers. Oh my God. Oh man. Our rights don't end when chip outs begin. Wow. Well, I do want to thank everybody that came out to the Sunday stream. This was a redemption stream, and I appreciate all the hustlers and all of the new people that came out. Thank you so much for joining me on this stream. If you guys are finding me for the first time, my name is Camp Hustle One. I do these weekly podcasts, and I even invite people on to have a live chat. And I was actually thinking of possibly doing another live conversation surrounding the whole Abba drama that's going on with his possible third baby mama coming forward. This stuff's getting messy, man, and it can't be ignored. It was something that I was probably going to try to fit into this show, but we're already at the 3-hour mark already, so probably have to pick it up next week. But yeah, until then, man, I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening, and I will see you guys on the next one. You guys have a wonderful night. This is Camp Hustle One. Out.
Hustlers unite every Saturday night. We shine bright, got the spotlight in sight. Live stream flames, haters take flight. Chopping it with Hank, keep the vibe airtight. Commentary live, no script, just pure flair. Every bar a dagger, leaving doubters in despair. This ain't just a hustle, it's a kingdom we declare. Building brick by brick, we ain't folding under glare. Hank Russell in the cut, breaking bread, trading thoughts. While they talk trash, we strategize and plot. Every stream of canvas, every word a stroke of art. We out here taking names, pulling strings, playing smart. Hustlers unite every Saturday night. We shine bright, got the spotlight in sight. Live stream